Welcome to Arkadelphia, Arkansas, to the campus of Henderson State University, and to D. White Field for a Sunday doubleheader between your Henderson State Reddies and their visitors today, the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns. Henderson State trying to come back from two losses yesterday versus the guests. Arkansas Tech took both halves of yesterday's doubleheader. 8-6 in Game 1, 7-5 in Game 2. Henderson State hit the ball pretty well, but just found themselves in too big of a hole in both games. Reddies trailed 7-0 in Game 1. They made it 7-6 before falling. They trailed 4-0 in Game 2. They fell 7-5. The Reddies will play two today. The first game will be a GAC conference game. It will count in the GAC conference standings. Game 2 is a non-conference game that will not count in the GAC standings, just in the overall record for Henderson State. Reddies come into this one 11-22 overall, 8-15 in the GAC. That's 10th in the league. Arkansas Tech comes in 16-13 overall. They are 13-7 in the Great American Conference. That is good for third place in the GAC. Arkansas Tech also winners of 8 in a row now, as Mallory Brewer, Henderson's starter, misses on back-to-back pitches to Arkansas Tech's leadoff batter and left fielder Timber Riley. Riley, a right-hander, squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes a strike at the top of the zone. As Brewer gets on the board with her first strike in the top of the first, bases empty. Nobody out as Riley leads off the game for Arkansas Tech. Sends one high into the air, deep to left center field, but O'Quinn, the center fielder for the Reddies, has no problem with it. Has time to range over and makes the catch just in front of the warning track in left center. That ball helped by the wind that's blowing out to left field today. Blowing out south-southeast at 11 miles an hour at first pitch, as Brewer gets the strike called to Abby Kane, who bats second and plays second for Arkansas Tech. Riley, the leadoff, is a right-handed batter. Kane digs in as a lefty hitter and bunts foul straight back into the netting behind home plate. Quickly 0-2. One out in inning number 1. 0-0 ball game. Arkansas Tech trying to get on the board first. Arkansas Tech got 2 runs in both first innings of the 2 games we played yesterday. 0-2 to Kane, that's helmet high, and taken ball 1. Riley flew out to the center fielder O'Quinn. Kane tries to give Arkansas Tech its first base runner as Brewer misses with the 1-2 fastball. Count evened up 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on the base paths for the Golden Suns here in the scoreless top of the first. 2-2 from Brewer. Slap hit left side. Moore, the third baseman, ranges to her left and nabs it. Throws out Kane by a step and a half. Nice play by Moore, who spent some time behind home plate as the Henderson State backstop yesterday, but she's playing the hot corner here in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Moore makes a nice play, and Brewer has recorded the first 2 outs of the top of the first as she misses outside with a fastball to Patty Laredo, who had a great day yesterday, a combined 5 for 9 with 3 runs scored across the doubleheader. Laredo late to the party there, fouls off the 1-0. Looping line drive, tails into the netting in front of the Arkansas Tech dugout down the first baseline. 1-1 Brewer rocket fire. She misses low and inside. Brewer got the start in Game 1 yesterday and had a rough go of it. Brewer lasted just 2 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike out anybody. Misses neck high to Laredo. And the first 3-ball count here from Brewer, as Laredo has worked it to 3-1 with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the first. Laredo takes a strike, and the payoff pitch will come next. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 0-0, top of the first. Bases empty for Arkansas Tech. Riley popped out to center. Kane grounded out to third. Once again, Laredo late, and it tails foul down the first baseline. Laredo now second on the Golden Suns in average, batting .358 coming into the Sunday doubleheader. 24 hits on 67 at-bats. Another 3-2. Mallory Brewer just misses with the fastball outside, and Brewer issues a rare walk Brewer, coming into this outing, had just given up 19 walks in 92 and 2/3 innings to 67 strikeouts. So Laredo works the 2-out walk, and Caitlin Wells swings the first pitch she sees. It one-hops a charging O'Quinn in center field, and Arkansas Tech, in 2 pitches, has 2 base runners on board as Laredo moves to second, and Wells has a line drive single to center field. So 2 on 2 out now. Arkansas Tech scored 2 runs in the first inning in both games yesterday. Looking for a pair of runs here as Brooke Pruitt digs in and takes a ball high and outside. 1-0. 2 on 2 out. Laredo on second, Wells on first. Brewer gets the strike called, outer half of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on 2 out. 0-0 ball game, top of the first. Pruitt bats with Laredo on second and Wells on first. Takes a fastball at the shins. 2-1 now. Brewer to the plate. Outside strike called. 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Brewer looking for her first K of the day, would be her 68th of the season. 2-2. It skips away from the catcher, Jordan. This will be a wild pitch on Brewer as she misses outside. And that ball skipped about 3 feet in front of home plate. Jordan, the catcher, could not slide to her right and keep it in front. Both runners advance. Laredo to third, Wells to second. 3-2. Out of play off the bat of Pruitt. Pruitt was excellent and consistent yesterday. 2 for 3 in both games, a run and an RBI in both games as well. As she takes strike 3 called. Pruitt thought she had ball 4, but Brewer gets out of the inning with a backwards K. She works around a 2-out walk to Laredo, a single and a wild pitch. Brewer strands 2 Golden Suns batters in scoring position, and the Reddies will have a chance to score first when we come back. 0-0, we'll go to the bottom of the first on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. Absolutely pristine weather here in Arkadelphia. Little preview of summertime here on the diamond today. Temperatures in the low 70s right now. They'll be ticking up into the high 70s as the afternoon wears on. Henderson State stranded 2 Arkansas Tech base runners in scoring position in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of inning number 1. 0-0 ball game as the Reddies try to strike first with Caitlin O'Quinn digging in and leading off. O'Quinn takes a strike. A fastball poured in by Shannon Lacey, who started game 1 yesterday, a game in which Arkansas Tech won 8-6. Lacey did not get a decision. She lasted just 2+ innings. Gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, none of them earned. 2 walks, 4 Ks as O'Quinn moves forward and out of the box as the left-handed hitter and the slap hitter normally does. She checks the swing. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Quinn leading off the bottom of the first for the Reddies in a 0-0 ball game. Lacey to the plate, 1-1. Fastball again misses outside. O'Quinn had a great day at the plate yesterday. O'Quinn across the doubleheader combined 2 for 4. She drew 4 walks and scored 2 runs for the Reddies. Also stole a couple of bases. 3 bases, in fact. 2 in game 1, 1 in game 2. O'Quinn now 21 stolen bases this season in 23 attempts. She fouls off the 2-1. Digs back in 2-2, trying to give the Reddies a leadoff base runner in the bottom of the first. That skips in front of the opposite batter's box. Easy take for O'Quinn. O'Quinn on the verge of drawing her 5th walk of the weekend. She entered the weekend with 6 walks and 102 at-bats. She walked 4 times yesterday, helping to move that on-base percentage from 407 to 431. O'Quinn takes high, check the swing, and works another walk. So the freshman O'Quinn out of Coppell, Texas, really improving that eye discipline. And that walk, just as good as a single, here to lead off the bottom of the first. Reddies looking to score first for the first time this weekend. Reddies trailed 7-0 in Game 1 yesterday, 4-0 in Game 2 as O'Quinn takes off and has her 22nd down from the catcher Fulgham. Stop Pruitt was late. The pitch to White was high above the zone. 1-0 to Henderson State's shortstop and 2-hitter. White swings, fouls it back into the netting behind home plate. White, a 5'3" freshman from Plano, Texas. Henderson State has used her primarily at second base and at shortstop, where she starts today. 1-1, White squares to bunt. Fouls it back. 1-2 out of the count. White had not squared on the previous 2 pitches, but Reddies were trying to move O'Quinn over to third for Abby Moore, their leading RBI getter, who waits on deck. White keeps the bat back as Lacey goes to the breaking ball and does not get the call. Flutters outside the zone to the right-handed hitter White. 2 balls and 2 strikes. O'Quinn on second. 0-0 ball game, bottom of the first. White swings through, and Fulgham applies the tag as that pitch hit the turf. White got out of the batter's box to run down to first, but it was too late as Fulgham put the tag on White's lower back, and White strikes out for the first out of the bottom of the first. O'Quinn still at second as Abby Moore digs in. Upright stance, right-handed hitter. Moore swings at the first pitch of her at-bat and pulls it foul down the left field line. Moore second on the Reddies. Only other Reddie besides Caitlin O'Quinn batting above 300. She's batting 306 coming into Sunday's doubleheader as Lacey's fastball dips low. Good butterfly block by the catcher Fulgham to keep that in front and keep O'Quinn at second base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 on for the Reddies. O'Quinn on second. Bottom of inning number 1. 0-0 ball game. Abby Moore trying to change that. Moore pops it up and out of play over the Henderson State dugout down the third base line. Count goes to 1-2 on Moore. Moore has been much better in the past few weeks for the Reddies. Moore was hitting just .230 through the first 20 games of the season before rattling off 6 straight games with 2 hits. She's now reached safely in 12 straight, bumping that average up again over the 300 threshold. Moore checks the swing. They're going to say Moore went around, but it gets by the catcher Fulgham, and Moore goes to first and reaches on the strikeout. So even though Moore goes down with the K, she survives and gets on the base paths as O'Quinn moves to third. Henderson State gets a break as Moore reaches on a passed ball. Runners on the corners for the Reddies with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Henderson State looking to take their first lead of the weekend as Monica Monreal takes a fastball for a strike. O'Quinn on third, Moore on first. Reddies Still looking for their first hit, but they are threatening. Again, runners on the corners, one out. 0-1 to Monreal. That dips low, 1-1. O'Quinn walked on a 3-2, then stole second. Zoe White struck out swinging. Moore struck out looking, but reached on a pass ball, and O'Quinn went to third. 1-1 to Monreal. Foul tips it into the glove of the catcher Fulgham. Moore takes off and steals second base on the pitch. It's cut off by the second baseman Kane, who was concerned with O'Quinn trying to execute the double steal, coming home from third, but she stays put, and the Reddies advance 2 runners into scoring position as Arkansas Tech will bring the infield a little closer in. Monreal trying to be a 2-strike hitter and give the Reddies the lead. 1-2. Fouls it off her foot, and will do it again. Monreal started, went 1 for 3 with a double, and scored the only run of the game against OBU on Tuesday. That was her first action since March 20th. And yesterday, she had a solid game 2 of the doubleheader, went 2 for 4, had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th. Another 1-2 here to Monreal, through the middle of the infield. This scores O'Quinn. Moore will be held at third, and with their first hit of the day, the Reddies have the game's first run. Monreal reached out and just got a piece of the softball, but as Arkansas Tech had the infield in, it had just enough velocity to squeak through the middle of the infield past the second baseman Kane, who was ranging to her right. O'Quinn scores. Moore goes to third. Reddies once more have runners on the corners with 1 out, except this time they're batting with the lead as Addie Jordan digs in. Jordan swings and chops one foul down the third baseline. And a good spot for Addie Jordan. This is who the Reddies want with the bat in hand. As of late, Jordan's been Henderson State's hottest hitter. Jordan batting .470 now, 16 for her last 34. Over the last 13 games, 11 RBI in that span. RBI opportunity here as the pitch is way outside. Monreal takes second and slides in safely. She was taken off on the pitch, and Fulgham had next to no chance as she had to save that one as it got to the opposite batter's box. 1-1 to Jordan. Jordan pops it up, but it tails back and out of play. Almost came and paid us a visit here in the press box. Another 1-2. Monreal singled on a 1-2 count, which drove home the game's first run, scoring Caitlin O'Quinn. Jordan bats 1-2 count. Moore on third, Monreal on second. Jordan takes a fastball inside. Count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moore on third, Monreal on second. Reddies 1 run on 1 hit in the bottom of the first of 1-0. This is the first time this weekend they've been playing with the lead. 2-2 now to Jordan. It's smoked and caught by the third baseman Laredo, who tried to tag Abby Moore, but Moore got back to third base safely and in time. Henderson State fortunate that Moore was able to get back, as Arkansas Tech's infield thought they had a double play, so Jordan gets a piece, but finds a green jersey as she lines out to the third baseman Laredo. It'll be Kaylee Reese's turn to bat with 2 runners in the scoring position. Now 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Reddies up 1-0 after the single up the middle for Monica Monreal, which scored Caitlin O'Quinn. 1-0 to Reese. Lazy looper, drops fair. Down the left field line, Abby Moore scores. Monreal heads home from second, and Kaylee Reese slides into third safely with a 2-out, 2-run triple. Timber, the left fielder, had trouble with it down the left field line, and the Reddies lead 3-zip in the bottom of the first. Kaylee Reese with her second triple of the season. She's the only Reddie to have any triples this season. She's got 2. And what a way for Kaylee Reese to become Henderson State's all-time leader in triples. That is Reese's 9th triple of her career. And she is now all-time triples leader in Henderson State history. And that one brought home 2 runs. And the Reddies now lead 3-0 in the bottom of the first as Reese stands on third after the 2-out triple as Ashlyn Taylor bats and takes the first pitch outside 1-0. Late to the party on the next pitch. Spoils it out of play 1-1. So a great spot for Reese to come through. Reese had been struggling a tad bit. Had just 4 hits in her last 9 starts, but a 2-run triple for Reese puts the Reddies up 3-0 as Taylor skies one to shallow right. Long run for Kane at second and Harris in right. Neither of them can make the play. This will be a dying quail double for Ashlyn Taylor as Reese scores from third, and Henderson State has scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first as Morgan Reeve, the 8th hitter, will bat next. So the Reddies this time getting in front of the Golden Suns. The Reddies trailed 7-0 in Game 1 yesterday. They trailed 4-0 in Game 2, but they're up 4-0 here in the first game of Sunday's doubleheader. Still in the bottom of the first as Morgan Reeve swings and misses at the first pitch she sees. 2 outs recorded for Lacey. She's lasted 2/3 of an inning, given up 3 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of them earned. 1 walk, 2 Ks. Reeve swings through the 0-1, now 0-2. So every single batted ball has been a hit. Lacey's gotten 2 outs, both of them by way of the K. Jordan struck out. Excuse me, Moore and White were the strikeouts, but Moore reached on the pass ball as Reeve strikes out. So Lacey gets all 3 outs in the bottom of the first by way of the K, but the Reddies score 4. They lead 4-0. We'll go to the second inning. No, don't. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. The Reddies up 4-0 in the bottom of the first as Brewer hits Mackenzie Addis with the first pitch of the top of the second. Brewer now not now, but coming into the game, she had more hit batsmen than walks this season. That's the 22nd time Brewer has hit a batter. So Addis reaches by way of the plunk, and Arkansas Tech has a base runner with nobody out in the top of the second as Mackenzie Goins fouls off the 0-1. Now 0-2 to Goins. Addis on first, 0-2 to Goins. Hit hard, but foul. Down the first baseline. Count still 0-2. Brewer worked around a jam in the top of the first. Arkansas Tech put runners on second and third, but Brewer struck out Pruitt looking as Goins stays alive and fouls it back. Another 0-2 coming up from Brewer. Goins starts the day batting .250, 14 hits and 56 at-bats. Another 0-2. Swing and a miss. Brewer gets the swinging strikeout. She's got her second K in the 4 outs that she has recorded. And a big first out in the top of the second as Arkansas Tech has a runner on base with Mackenzie Addis. She was plunked on the first pitch of the inning. Off the hands. Ball gets to the second baseman, Macy Pampel, and this will be an error on Pampel. Just a dying quail. Took a one-hopper in front of Pampel. Should have been a routine play for the second baseman. But she has trouble with it. And Morgan Fulgham reaches on the error as Arkansas Tech has 2 runners on the base paths with 1 out here in the top of inning number 2. The ball was weakly hit, but I have had a lot of spin on it, and Pampel had trouble. 1-0. Make it 2-0 as Brewer misses above the zone to Orissa Harris, Arkansas Tech's right fielder and 9-hitter. 2-0. Make it 2-1. Brewer gets the call in the outside corner. Harris was the only Arkansas Tech player to play in both games of yesterday's doubleheader and not record a hit. She went 0 for 5 combined yesterday. 2-1, misses outside, 3-1. Arkansas Tech with 2 runners on the base paths, neither of them reaching by way of a base hit. Addis hit by a pitch. Fulgham reached on an error. 3-1. Strike 2 called. .3-2 from Brewer. Hit hard. Snagged by the third baseman Moore, who played the hot corner to perfection. That got on Moore quickly, but Moore with the lightning quick reaction gets the glove up and makes the catch for the second out of the top of the second inning as the Arkansas Tech order resets with Timber Riley, who takes a strike. 0-1 from Brewer now. Riley swings away. This is hammered down the left field line, but it'll hook foul. That ball would have been out of here if it had not been pushed to the left side of the left field foul pole line. Riley was a few inches away from making that a 4-3 ball game as the Reddies lead 4-0 in the top of the second. Another 0-2 from Brewer. This is hit hard out to center field. O'Quinn tracking back, makes the catch right before the wall. She saves an extra base hit and keeps Arkansas Tech scoreless. That O'Quinn catch ends the inning. The Reddies lead 4-0. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. What number? Welcome back to D. White Field. The Reddies got 4 in the bottom of the first. Looking for more here as they lead off the bottom of the second with Macy Pampel. The Reddies sent 8 hitters to the dish in the bottom of the first. Macy Pampel leads off batting 9th. It'll be 9-1-2 for HSU as Pampel takes an inside fastball from Arkansas Tech's new pitcher. This is Caitlin Wells as Shannon Lacey, the starter, lasted just 1 inning. And I think maybe the umpires had some questions for Arkansas Tech's coaching staff, as I'm not sure if he knew that there was a new pitcher. Lacey had her line changed after the first inning. A pass ball was ruled a wild pitch, which changed her line dramatically. So instead of 1 earned run in the 4 runs that she allowed, all 4 of them become earned. So Lacey goes 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, 1 walk, struck out 3, as Lacey is replaced by Caitlin Wells, misses inside once more on Pampel, 2-0. Obviously in softball, you can come into the game and come back into the game after being taken out, unlike baseball, so we may very well see Lacey again, but Henderson State's done a good job on Arkansas Tech's best starting pitcher this season, as Pampel takes an inside strike, 2-1 now, as Pampel leads off the bottom of the second for the Reddies in a 4-0 ball game. HSU in front, another strike called, 2-2 now to Pampel, who hit her first home run and got her first RBI of the season on a solo shot yesterday, 2-2. Pampel keeps the bat back, thought about it, as it skips away from the catcher Fulgham, but nobody on the base paths, as Pampel leads off the bottom of the second, so no issue for the Arkansas Tech backstop. Pampel trying to get on base, 3-2. Checks the swing, strike 3 called. Pampel goes down looking as Wells gets the backwards K to start her outing. Wells making just her second appearance of the season. Curious to see Arkansas Tech go so deep into the bullpen. Wells, through Arkansas Tech's first 29 games, had only logged 1 inning of work, 1 appearance. It was in relief, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. And her only previous appearance as she misses to Caitlin O'Quinn. O'Quinn slaps it left side. It's going to be a tough play for the third baseman Laredo, but she makes it. It was a Baltimore chop off the bat of O'Quinn. Laredo had to wait on it as O'Quinn, the lefty hitter, sped down the first base line, but Laredo gloves it above the head and makes a strong throw across the diamond for the second out of the bottom of the second inning. Pampel goes down looking. O'Quinn goes down 5-3. Base is empty, 2 outs for Zoe White, who swings and pulls the first pitch of the at-bat, foul. Ground ball down the third base line. White 0 for 1, struck out in the first. Henderson State scored 4 in the bottom of the first on 3 hits. 0-1 to White. Inside outs it on the ground. Right to the second baseman Kane. She moves to the left, takes it at the hip, and throws White out 4-3. Reddies retired in order in the bottom of the second. We'll go to the third. Henderson State up 4-0 on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. The Reddies lead 4-0 in the third game of a 4-game series against Arkansas Tech this weekend, as Mallory Brewer sends it to Abby Kane, who swings at the first pitch of the top of the third. This one stays foul. She chops it, stays fair. She chops it down the first base line. Reeve makes the play and steps on first, so 1 pitch, 1 out for Brewer in the top of the third. This is the third game of the weekend, and the last game that will count in the conference standings as Brewer misses outside to Patty Laredo, 1-0. We're playing 4. The second game of today's doubleheader will not count in the GAC standings. Arkansas Tech has already won the GAC series as Laredo shoots it to right field. Coming on is Ashlyn Taylor. She makes the play in shallow right for the second out. So 3 pitches for Brewer and 2 outs in the top of the third. Reddies lead 4-0, bases empty, as Caitlin Wells digs in, who has the only hit of the day for Arkansas Tech. So again, game 3 of 4 this weekend, but this is the last game that will count in the GAC standing. So in terms of the GAC, Arkansas Tech has already won this series as they won 2 games yesterday in the doubleheader, but the Reddies can split the 4-game set, depending on how you look at it. Brewer does not get the call as Wells checks the swing on the 0-1. 1-1 now to Wells, right-handed hitter, upright stance. No batting gloves for Wells, as Brewer misses outside and low with the fastball, 2-1. Wells singled up the middle in the first and reached second. Brewer stranded Wells at second and Laredo at third in the top of the first, before working around a hit by pitch and an error in the top of the second. Brewer looking to retire the Golden Suns in order here in the top of the third. 3-1 to Wells. 3-2. Wells takes a strike, outer half. Brewer so far today, 2 2/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 hit batter, 2 Ks. 3-2. Wells strikes out looking. She checked the swing, didn't matter. Brewer gets the call with the outside fastball. Mallory Brewer's got it working today. 3 Ks in 3 innings. She's held a dangerous Golden Suns lineup scoreless. Henderson State looking to add to their 4-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the third when we come back. You're listening to Ready Softball on the HSU Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. The Reddies lead 4-0 as Abby Moore leads off the bottom of the third. The Reddies facing Arkansas Tech's reliever Caitlin Wells. Moore swings at the first pitch of the inning and fouls it back against the netting behind home plate. Wells, in her second inning of work today, in her third inning of work this season. Before this weekend, she had logged just 1 inning, came back on March 23rd at Central Oklahoma. 0-1, now 1-1, and they're going to say that ran inside and hit Moore, so Moore happy to take the plunk and happy to jog to first. That's the 3rd time this season Moore's been hit by a pitch. And the Reddies have a leadoff base runner in the bottom of the third. Henderson State got 4 in the first. They were retired in order in the second, looking to get things going again as Monica Monreal swings through the first pitch of her at-bat. Abby Moore slid off the second, slid too far past second base, and was tagged out by the shortstop Pruitt, stealing second. She got there before the throw, would have been safe, but just slid past second, and Moore is eliminated from the base paths as Henderson State's threat quickly dissipates. 0-1 to Monreal. Line drive, tails into the glove of the shortstop Abby Kane, who moved to her right by a step, and Henderson State, who quickly had a runner on and nobody out in the bottom of the third, now with 2 out and nobody on as Addie Jordan digs in. So Henderson State's threat quickly eliminated in the bottom of the third as Addie Jordan takes an inside fastball. 1-0. Jordan 0 for 1, lined out to the third baseman Laredo in the first. 1-0. High and outside, 2-0. Jordan again swinging one of the hottest bats, if not the hottest bat on the team. Jordan coming into Sunday's doubleheader, batting .470 in her last 13 games. Jordan pounds this one to center field. Coming on is Mackenzie Addis. She tries to make a sliding catch on the Henderson State logo in shallow center, but can't make the play as it caroms off the glove, and Addie Jordan has a 2-out single in the bottom of the third as Henderson State looks to restart things. Abby Moore was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning, but she slid past second base trying to steal. Monreal lined out to second, but the Reddies have another base runner as Kaylee Reese digs back in after a 2-run triple and a run scored in the bottom of the first. So Reese in on 3 of Henderson State's 4 runs as the Reddies lead 1-0. Reese tags this and sends it to left field. Riley Timber has little issue with it. She settles under and makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Reddies get 2 base runners on board, but Moore runs into an out, and Reese strands Jordan in center, on first after her single to center. We'll go to the 4th. Reddies up 4-0. Brewer looking to continue a strong outing when we come back. You're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Brooke Pruitt leads off for the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns. Mallory Brewer remains in the circle for the Reddies. She starts Pruitt with a fastball, dips low and stays outside. 1-0 to Pruitt, who struck out looking to end the first inning. 1-0. Make it 1-1. Brewer gets the call on the outer half. So Brewer is gotten better as the game has gone on, allowed 2 base runners in the first and the second, but got through the Arkansas Tech order cleanly in the top of the 3rd. Arkansas Tech only with 1 hit as Brewer has worked 3 innings, given up 1 hit, 1 walk. She's hit a batter. Arkansas Tech has not had a lot of solid contact as Pruitt fouls off the 1-1, now 1-2, fouls it off again, and will do it again. Arkansas Tech had runners on second and third in the first. Had runners on first and second in the top of the second. Brewer got around both. 1-2. Flied down the first base line. It'll land near the Arkansas Tech bullpen. Foul, as Pruitt has now fouled off 3 pitches in a row. Still 1-2. Brewer looking for her 4th K. Doesn't get it. Pruitt checks the swing as Brewer went to the breaking ball and left it outside to the right-handed hitter, Brooke Pruitt. 2-2. Sent left side of the infield. It stays fair. Abby Moore shuffles to the third base line and makes a strong throw to the first baseman Reeve to get Pruitt. So Pruitt and Brewer battle, but Brewer finally induces the 5-3 ground out as Mackenzie Addis digs in and takes a strike with 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the 4th. Addis was hit by a pitch and reached second base before being stranded in the second. Shoots it to the right side. Macy Pampel gloves it and throws out Addis. Pampel, for a second there, not sure if she had her glove all the way down on the turf. Was worried about that getting through the wickets of Pampel, but Pampel makes the play as Addis hits it right to her. Quickly 2 up and 2 down in the top of the 4th for Arkansas Tech. Pruitt grounds out to the third baseman Moore. Addis grounds out to the second baseman Pampel as Goins grounds it foul down the third baseline. Quickly 0-1 to Mackenzie Goins. Struck out in the second. Goins leaves it low. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Reddies up 4-0. Henderson State got all 4 of their runs in the bottom of the 1st on 3 hits. 1-1, 1-2 now. Player of the game candidates early on for the Reddies. Kaylee Reese in the lineup and Mallory Brewer in the circle for the Reddies. Reese in on 3 of the Henderson State's 4 runs, has 2 RBIs and runs scored. Brewer has been great today, 3 2/3, no runs allowed, 1-2. That stays helmet high on Goins. Count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, base is empty. Mallory Brewer looking to retire Arkansas Tech in order for the second straight inning. 2-2. Goins just gets a piece and stays alive, fouls it near the Henderson State on-deck circle to the left side behind home plate. Wind still gusting out to left field. Goins trying to use it. She has not gone deep this season. 2-2. She pushes it right side of the infield. Reeve makes 1 shuffle to her right, picks it up, and beats Goins to the bag. So 3 straight ground outs, and Brewer gets out of the 4th with no problems. Henderson State up 4-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. When we come back, you're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. Been a beautiful day so far at the Diamond. Temperatures ticking up into the mid-70s. It was 71 at first pitch. Now 74 as the Reddies lead off the bottom of the 4th, leading 4-0. Ashlyn Taylor bats right-handed, no batting gloves for Taylor. Her crouch stance takes inside 1-0 from Caitlin Wells, who is in her 3rd inning of work, taking over for the starter Shannon Lacey. Again, Wells misses inside, 2-0 to Taylor. Lacey lasted just 1 inning for Arkansas Tech, gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the first as Taylor grounds it to the left side of the infield. The third baseman, Laredo, baskets it in and throws out Taylor, 5-3. Taylor grounds out on the 2-0, and Wells has the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Morgan Reeve digs in. Struck out to end the first. Looking to jumpstart the Reddies in the bottom of the fourth. Bases empty, 1 out. Caitlin Wells' first pitch to Morgan Reeve, low and inside. So Wells had worked just 1 inning all season before replacing Lacey. And she's looked sharp. 2 1/3 so far for Wells, 1 hit. No runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. 1-0 to Reeve. Reeve pops it up, and the catcher, Fulgham, makes a nice play out of her catcher's crouch and makes the play in foul territory, running down the right side of the first base line. Reeve disappointed with the foul out, and quickly 2 outs for Wells in the bottom of the fourth as Macy Pampel checks the swing and takes inside 1-0. So Taylor retired on 3 pitches, Reeve retired on 2. 2 outs, bases empty for Macy Pampel. 2-0 to Pampel. Pampel, a solo home run yesterday. It was her first homer of the year, first RBI of the season. Swings at the 2-0. Fouls it back and out of play. Pampel's solo home run yesterday came in the bottom of the 5th inning. It was one of 2 solo home runs for the Reddies in the inning. The Reddies did not go back-to-back as Pampel went deep and then White went deep 2 batters later. Pampel takes another one inside. Count now 3-1. Hitters count 3-1 to the Reddies second baseman, Macy Pampel. She fouls it back into the turf. Payoff pitch upcoming now. 3-2. 2 outs, bases empty. Reddies have been in front for the majority. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Pampel works the walk. Arkansas Tech thought it was going to go the other way. Macy Pampel on first with as the payoff pitch ran inside. Fulgham, the catcher, was already sprinting to the dugout. She thought she had strike 3, but the Reddies have a 2-out base runner for Caitlin O'Quinn as the order resets for the Reddies. O'Quinn digging in 0 for 1. Slap hits it foul down the third base line. Arkansas Tech changing their alignment defensively for O'Quinn. Infield playing a little bit further in than they normally would. Third baseman and the first baseman 5 feet in front of their respective bags as O'Quinn takes outside 1-1, and the outfield playing in as well. The left fielder, Timber, shaded closer to the left field line. Addis, the center fielder, shaded to left center field. And Arissa Harrish in right field, pretty much playing normal positioning as O'Quinn leaves the 1-1 in the dirt. It's kept in front by Fulgham as Wells, the pitcher, short-hopped her backstop. Pampel stayed at first, though. Did not have a chance to advance on what would have been a wild pitch if it had gotten away from Fulgham. 2-1 to O'Quinn. Make it 2-2. Wells catches the outside corner with the strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Macy Pampel on first after reaching on the 2-out walk. O'Quinn walked and scored in the first, grounded out to the third baseman, Laredo, in the second. As the throw goes down to second, Pampel takes off and steals the base. That is Pampel's first swipe of the season. And now the force at second, taken off the board. Pitch missed outside. Count 3-2. O'Quinn trying to drive home Pampel from second. And that's just foul. Pampel has to go back to second She was looking around third and score as O'Quinn inside outed the 3-2 and sent it over the head of the third baseman Laredo, but it just tailed foul. Not more than a foot left of the left field line. Another 3-2 coming up to O'Quinn. And this is ball 4 as Fulgham, the catcher, throws behind Pampel at second, but the throw tails to the right side of the second base bag. Pampel slides back safely, and the Reddies have 2 on with 2 out after 2 walks in the bottom of the 4th. Henderson State trying to extend their 4-0 lead as Zoe White digs in. Pampel on second, O'Quinn on first. Strike called on White. O'Quinn's walk was her 6th of the weekend. 4 yesterday, 2 today. She had 6 walks all year coming into the weekend as White hits it hard, but right at the third baseman Laredo. She makes the play and steps on third to force out Pampel and end the inning. So the Reddies put 2 on as Wells issues 2 2-out walks, but Henderson State can't do anything in the bottom of the 4th. We'll go to the 5th. Brewer looking to keep Arkansas Tech quiet. Henderson State up 4-0. You're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. Beautiful day in Arkadelphia. Blue skies in every direction. Little taste of a southern summer today. Temperatures heading up into the mid-70s as we get into the afternoon hours. Mallory Brewer, first pitch called low ball 1 to Morgan Fulgham, who reached on an error by the second baseman Macy Pampel in the second inning. 1-0 from Brewer to Fulgham, taken outside 2-0. Brewer has been great so far today, 4+ innings now. Allowed 1 hit, 1 walk. She's hit a batter. No runs, though. Struck out 3. Arkansas Tech trails 4-0 as they lead off the 5th with Morgan Fulgham, who takes a strike on the outside corner. Fulgham 0 for 1, batting 8th for Arkansas Tech, so it'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Golden Suns in the inning. A looping line drive hit to the shortstop White, and she makes the play, moving to her left. A nice snag by White, who has looked good with the glove this weekend. Fulgham lines out for the first out of the top of the 5th. Brewer allowed 2 base runners in the 1st and the 2nd. Retired Arkansas Tech in order in the 3rd and the 4th as Fulgham, the leadoff hitter in the top of the 5th, lines out. Harris trying to flip her script. Takes inside. 2-0 now on Harris. Base is empty. 1 out. Top of the 5th. Reddies up 4-0. Brewer back on the rubber. Comes to the plate. Strike 1. Harris lined out to the third baseman Moore in the 2nd. 0 for 6 combined this weekend. Still looking for her first hit of the set. 2-1. Make it 2-2. Brewer gets the cold strike at the belt. Arkansas Tech's home visiting audience thought that was a little high. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Brewer starts Harris off with 2 balls, comes back with 3 straight strikes. That's her 4th K of the day. And Brewer, with 1 more out against Timber Riley, would retire Arkansas Tech in order for the 3rd straight inning as the order resets for the Golden Suns. Now 4 straight strikes from Brewer. Pours it right down the middle to Riley, 0-1. Riley 0 for 2 today. 2 flyouts to center field as it's taken helmet high, ball 1. Riley's hit it pretty deep both times, but O'Quinn has made 2 nice plays on Riley. She's sent it into left center field. Riley squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, swings, and fouls it back 1-2. That wind has been gusting out to left center all day today. Riley's been using that vortex, but 2 previous flyouts were kept in the yard by Caitlin O'Quinn. Another 1-2 from Brewer, and we'll do it again as Riley chops it into the dugout of Henderson State down the third base line. Brewer looking for back-to-back strikeouts. 1-2, swing and a miss! Mallory Brewer has retired the Golden Suns side in 3 straight innings. She is pitching a gem. The Reddies lead 4-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State will bring the heart of the order to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. HSU up 4-0. Abby Moore digs in and leads off for the Reddies, batting third. Moore batting third, Monreal batting fourth, and Jordan batting 5th, due up in the bottom of inning number 5. Reddies in front of the Golden Suns 4-0. 1-0, now 1-1 to Moore. She takes the fastball for a strike on the inside edge. Caitlin Wells continues her work in the circle for Arkansas Tech. She's been great so far. 3 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Hasn't allowed a run as Moore chops it left side of the infield. Nice play by Laredo. Ranged to her left and made the play at the shoelaces before resetting her feet and making a strong throw to get Moore. We've had a lot of good defense this weekend, especially at third base. Laredo has had a gold glove over there. So has Moore for the Reddies. Moore grounds out 5-3. First out of the bottom of the 5th. Monreal digs in and pokes one to right field. Shallow as Parrish makes a sprinting catch in shallow right to nab Monreal. 2 lightning quick outs for Wells in the bottom of the 5th. Henderson State got 4 in the bottom of the 1st. It's been all window frames since then for both teams. Reddies still up 4-0 as Addie Jordan takes her turn, swings and laces one foul down the third base line. Jordan just missing out on extra bases there, but Laredo, the third baseman, was also playing pretty close to the line. She could have probably made the play on that as Jordan tries to become the first player today with a multi-hit game. Breaking ball by White stays outside, 1-1. Jordan 1 for 2. Lined out to Laredo, the third baseman in the first. Singled to center in the third, 1-1. This will go to Laredo again. The third baseman once more goes to her left and makes the play to get Jordan. So Laredo busy over there at third base, but she's making it look easy. Reddies retired in order in the bottom of the 5th. Arkansas Tech getting to the end of their rope. They've got 6 outs left to work with as we go to the top of the 6th. Reddies still up 4-0 on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State up 4-0. We go to the top of the 6th inning. The Reddies got a quartet of runs in the bottom of the 1st. 4 runs on 3 hits in the inning. Reddies have managed just 1 hit since then, but Mallory Brewer has taken care of them. Brewer has worked 5 innings so far, given up just 1 hit. Brewer has retired the last 11 batters she has faced, retired the last 2 in the 2nd. She's retired Arkansas Tech in order in the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th as Abby Kane digs in and leads off the top of the 6th. Kane pulls the bunt attempt back and takes outside, ball 1. Kane 0 for 2 today. Pair of ground outs for Kane. 1-0, 2-0. High and outside from Brewer. Kane grounded out to the 3rd baseman Moore in the 1st. Grounded out to the 1st baseman Reeve unassisted in the 3rd. Kane, the lefty hitter, puts the bunt down right back to Brewer. She charges, collects, spins, throws, and Kane is retired. Kane put the bunt down. It looked like she was kind of unsure of herself. She was squared up, brought the bat back, then bunted again, and not a great bunt by Kane. Straight back to Brewer, who was fleet of foot, charged and recorded the out. So Kane moves 0 for 3 as Patty Laredo digs in and takes a fastball low and outside. 1-0. Reddies up 4-0, top of the 6th. Bases empty, 1 out. Strike called. Fastball right down the pipe. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Laredo 0 for 1, walked in the 1st, was stranded at 3rd, flew out to right in the 3rd, walked in the 1st, stranded at 3rd in the 1st, and then flew out to right in the 3rd as Brewer misses with a 1-1, now 2-1. Off the end of the bat, and I think Jordan may have caught in a piece of that foul ball with the bare hand. That was just off the bat of Laredo, and when it came off the bat, may have gotten a piece of Jordan's right hand. Jordan, a right-hander, obviously dominant hand, wearing the catcher's glove on the left hand. And she's going to be looked at quickly by the Henderson State training staff as well as her head coach David Martinez, but she looks to be just fine. Tough freshman out of Conway, Arkansas, shakes off the help, and the count goes to 2-2 now. Brewer back to the rubber, looking for her 6th strikeout of the day. Right side of the infield, Pampel, the 2nd baseman, boots it. That is Pampel's 2nd error of the day. And Arkansas Tech has their 1st base runner since the 2nd inning. And the last time Arkansas Tech had a base runner, it was also an error. Pampel had to range to her left, but that's a play that Pampel's got to make for Mallory Brewer, who's throwing the ball so well today, as Caitlin Wells digs in and takes low, ball 1. Wells has the only hit of the day for Arkansas Tech. A single to center in the 1st, struck out looking in the 3rd. 1-0. Make it 2-0. Henderson State up 4-0, top of the 6th. 1-on-1 out for the Golden Suns, who are trying to keep their 8-game winning streak intact, but they're going to have to come back and come back quickly. Down 4-0 with 5 outs left to work with. This is skied to right center field. O'Quinn, Henderson State center fielder, moves under it and makes the play. That ball tailed into right center, but knocked down by the wind, pushing out to left center. O'Quinn makes the routine play as Wells flies out for out number 2 here in the 6th. This will bring up Brooke Pruitt, who is 0 for 2. On the ground to the shortstop White, she charges and throws out Pruitt. Gets her by a step. Mallory Brewer works around the error on the Reddies infield. Henderson State up 4-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Kaylee Reese leads off the bottom of the 6th. Henderson State hoping this is their last time hitting as they lead 4-0. Kaylee Reese swings at the first pitch, slow roller, left side of the infield. Laredo once again cuts off Pruitt at short, makes the play, and throws out Reese with a fireball across the diamond. Patty Laredo has been so good at the hot corner for Arkansas Tech, as Reese grounds out and moves to 1 for 3 today. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 6th. Ashlyn Taylor swings at the first pitch she sees. Pop up right side of the infield. No problem for the second baseman, Abby Kane. 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Reddies in the bottom of the 6th. Reese grounds out to the third baseman, Laredo. Taylor pops out to the second baseman, Kane. And Taylor Sled will pinch hit for Morgan Reeve now in the 8th spot in the order. First pitch coming to Taylor Sled, called strike 1, so that's the first time the Reddies have looked at a pitch in the bottom of the 6th. Reese grounded out on her first pitch. Taylor popped out on her first. 0-1 to Sled. She swings, sends it opposite field, but it tails foul out of play. Quickly 0-2. Wells, Arkansas Tech's pitcher, entered the game in the 2nd and has been excellent. 4 2/3 for Wells, allowed just 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 K, no run. She's kept Arkansas Tech in it, but Mallory Brewer for the Reddies has shut down the Golden Suns bats. 0-2 to Sled, and Sled just stays alive. Got a sliver, got a stitch of the softball, and fouls it straight into the turf. I thought Fulgham, the catcher, might have caught that foul ball, which would have been a strikeout, but Sled stays alive, still 0-2. And we'll do it again as she pounds it foul down the third base line. Sled digging in for the first time in Game 1 of our Sunday doubleheader. She's pinch hitting in the place of Morgan Reeve. Reeve, 2 unsuccessful trips to the dish today. Another 0-2 to Sled. Sled checks the swing, keeps the bat back as the breaking ball from Wells dips low. One-two now to the freshman Sled. Hits it hard to the shortstop Pruitt. She moves to her right, crouches, collects, and throws out Taylor Sled. The Reddies go down in order in the bottom of the 6th. No insurance for the Reddies. We'll go to the 7th. Mallory Brewer looking for a complete game shutout. When we come back, you're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. Reddies trying to shut the door on Arkansas Tech. Mallory Brewer has been sensational so far. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 hit batter. She struck out 5, looking for the complete game shutout of the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns. Mackenzie Addis takes first. That's the 2nd time today Addis has been hit by a pitch. And Arkansas Tech with a base runner here in the top of the 7th. Arkansas Tech trying to get the tying run to the plate. That's their goal. As Goins fouls off her first pitch of the at-bat, 0-1. Henderson State playing even alignment defensively. Third baseman Moore and first baseman Reeve even with the bag. 0-1, make it 1-1. Brewer misses low and outside. Brewer looking for her 2nd complete game shutout in her last 3 outings. Went the distance and shut out Ouachita Baptist on Tuesday. His tails foul off the end of the bat. 1-2 on Goins. Brewer against Ouachita Baptist on April 6th. 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts. The Reddies won 1-0. Brewer looking to outdo herself today. 1-2 to Goins. Hit hard and through the infield. It squirts through the left side in between Moore and White. And Arkansas Tech has their 2nd hit of the day and 2nd base runner here in the top of the 7th. The tying run moves on deck as Morgan Fulgham digs in 0 for 2, reached on an error by Macy Pampel, the 2nd baseman, and the 2nd lined out to the shortstop White in the 5th. First pitch taken low, ball 1. Arkansas Tech with that hit by Goins, their first hit since the top of the 1st. As Brewer misses outside, 2-0. Brewer has been sensational today, but her work is not done. Reddies up 4-0 top of the 7th. 2 on, nobody out for Arkansas Tech. Fulgham takes a strike. Henderson State trying to snap Arkansas Tech's 8-game winning streak and win the first game of Sunday's doubleheader as Brewer pulls the string and gets Fulgham to swing over the top of the 2-1 off-speed pitch. Reddies coming into the weekend 10th in the GAC, trying to make some headway. Top 8 teams get to the conference tournament. 2-2, right back to Brewer. She goes to third, gets the force out, and Moore throws back to first. This gets away from Reeve. This allows Addis to go to third. And after some confusion, she stays there. Henderson State tried to pull the double play. Brewer got the lead runner, but Moore threw it away from Reeve, allowing allowing Goins, who stood in first, to go to third. But the Reddies do get an out as Arissa Harris digs in and takes a strike. 0-1. Henderson State happy to trade a base runner for an out right now. Not worried about Goins at third. Still up 4-0, top of the 7th. 0-1. Up the middle and through. Under the glove of Mallory Brewer. And Arkansas Tech scores their first run in the top of the 7th. And the tying run comes to the plate, represented by Timber Riley. Goins scores from third. Harris, with her first hit of the weekend, was a combined 0 for 8 before that at bat. Now 0 for 7 before that at bat. Now 0 for 8 as it gets away from the catcher Fulgham, and both runners advance. On the wild pitch from Brewer, Fulgham goes to third. Harris goes to second. So 4 outs eliminated, and Henderson State now in a precarious position as Riley takes the 1-0 for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run across for Arkansas Tech in the top of the 7th. Reddies up 4-1. Riley, the batter, represents the tying run. Brewer gets Riley to pull this one foul. 1-2. Arkansas Tech, 1 run on 2 hits in the inning. Also helped along by a wild pitch as well as a hit batsman. Hit hard to the right side of the infield. Pampel has trouble with again, and this will be another error on Macy Pampel. She is having all kinds of trouble at second base. That is her 3rd error of the day. Everybody is safe. Riley safe at first. Fulgham comes home to score from third. Harris moves to third, and now the tying run is aboard, represented by Timber Riley. The go-ahead run bats as Abby Kane takes a strike on the outside edge. That one was hit really hard at Pampel, but Pampel, who has really struggled in the field today with her 3rd error, couldn't handle it and did not react quickly enough to take it off the turf. And Arkansas Tech now has cut the lead in half, 4-2 in the top of the 7th. 1-1 now to Kane. That's outside, 2-1. Brewer has allowed 2 runs in the top of the 7th. Neither of them have been earned. 2-1, fouled straight back, 2-2. Brewer has not gotten a lot of help from her infield in the inning. Moore with an error, and Pampel with an error. 4 errors for the Reddies today. Right now, they're still in front, though, 4-2, as Brewer steps back onto the rubber. Here comes the 2-2 to Kane. Hit to the right side of the infield. Henderson State boots it again. Reeve has trouble on the backhand, and Harris scores from third. That is going to be the 5th error of the day on Henderson State, an error on Reeve. Henderson State's got to make some of these plays for their pitcher Mallory Brewer. A conference in the circle now for the Reddies. Here in the top of the 7th. Tying run in scoring position. It's now 4-3 as Kane reaches on the error by the first baseman Reeve. Harris comes home to score, and it's a 1-run ball game. Laredo takes a strike right down the pipe, 0-1. 1-1, Laredo leaves it outside. 3 runs in the inning for Arkansas Tech, none of them earned. The Reddies 3 errors in the inning, 5 errors on the day. They can still wrap this one up if they can get their gloves going again, as Brewer misses low to Laredo. 2-1 now the count. Riley on second, Kane on first. Riley represents the tying run, Kane represents the go-ahead run. 4-3 ball game, Reddies in front. Laredo smokes it right field. Taylor makes the catch, and gets it in quickly. Nice play by Taylor. Reacted quickly, gloved it, and got it back in the infield before Riley could tag at second and go to third. Arkansas Tech down to their final out here in the top of the 7th. 2 on, 2 out after Laredo flies to Ashlyn Taylor in right. Caitlin Wells trying to help herself. Wells has been excellent in relief pitching today for Arkansas Tech, trying to tie the ball game with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 7th. She takes a strike, and the count goes 0-1. Wells 1 for 3 today. Had a hit back in the first. 0-1, smoke through the infield. Ashlyn Taylor coming up and throws to third behind Timber Riley, who scores without a play. I'm not sure what Taylor was throwing at. Nobody was going to third base, and Arkansas Tech has tied the game in the top of the 7th. I'm not sure if Taylor got confused. Tim Riley was on second base. It was a base hit. There's no way that there would ever been a play at third, and Riley scores standing up. That won't be ruled an error, but that is a defensive mistake for the Reddies, who have let themselves down here and let down Mallory Brewer in the top of the 7th. Henderson State with 3 errors in the inning, 5 for the day. And Henderson State has allowed Arkansas Tech to score 4 runs in the top of the 7th to tie this ball game. Arkansas Tech will put a pinch runner on first base. This is number 33, Shannon Lacey, who started the game pitching for Arkansas Tech, and Lacey is one of the beneficiaries of this comeback. She was in line for the loss, but now it's going to be a no decision for Lacey, as Arkansas Tech has tied it at 4 in the top of the 7th. 1-0, now 2-0 to Brooke Pruitt. Arkansas Tech still with 2 on and 2 out in the inning. Golden Suns have pushed 4 across behind 3 Henderson State errors. 2-0. Strike 1, 2-1. Pruitt 0 for 3, struck out looking in the first. Grounded out to third in the 4th. Grounded out to short in the 6th. 2-1. Pruitt takes inside 3-1. Addis stands on deck. She led off the inning and was hit by a pitch. 3-1. Make it 3-2. Runners will be taking off on the pitch. Pruitt trying to give Arkansas Tech the lead. 4-4 ball game, top of the 7th. 3-2. Fouled straight back. We'll do it again as Kane goes back to second and Lacey goes back to first. Again, on a 3-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, both runners, Kane on second, Lacey on first, will be going on contact. Pruitt smokes one fair down the first base line. Kane scores from second, and Arkansas Tech takes the lead with 5 runs in the top of the 7th. It has been a devastating inning for the Reddies, who led 4-0, and Mallory Brewer had a chance to shut the door. Brewer got no help from her defense in the inning. The Reddies committed 3 errors, and that allowed Arkansas Tech's bats to wake up. The Golden Suns score 5. They lead 5-4. Henderson State goes to their bullpen. We'll have a new pitcher when we come back. You're listening to Ready Softball. Back in action, Arkansas Tech up 5-4, top of the 7th. Arkansas Tech 5 runs in the inning on 4 hits, helped along by 3 Henderson State errors. Henderson State's new pitcher is Crystal Lindsay. She misses inside and then misses above the zone. 2-0 to Mackenzie Addis, who's batting for the second time in the top of the 7th inning. Led off the inning, hit by a pitch. 2-0. 3-0. Lindsay misses low and inside. Henderson State led 4-0 heading into the top of the 7th inning. Brewer had allowed 1 hit and was on her way to one of the best outings of her career, and it's all fallen apart as Lindsay gets the strike called. Addis disagrees, but will dig back in. Count goes to 3-1. Swung on, backhanded by the shortstop White. The throw is late, and Addis beats it out. Arkansas Tech scores another run as Lacey comes home from third. Pinch running for Wells. Pruitt goes to third, and Addis is safe at first. We'll see if they score that a hit or an error. Arkansas Tech with 6 runs now in the top of the 7th, as they do rule that a single to the shortstop, Zoe White. Runners on the corners. 2 outs now for Arkansas Tech. They've scored 6 in the inning. They lead 6-4. Strike called 1-1 now to Goins, who singled to the left side and scored earlier this inning. Outside 2-1. Just a demoralizing inning for the Reddies. Again, they led 4-0. It's now 6-4 Arkansas Tech. Henderson State's going to need to come back and hit in the bottom of the 7th, trailing by at least 2. Goins pokes it to the right side. Pampel, the second baseman, makes the play and records the final out of the inning, but not before Henderson State gives up a 4-run lead. Arkansas Tech scores 6 and leads 6-4. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State led this game 4-0. Arkansas Tech scores 6 in the top of the 7th, so the Reddies will be forced to hit in the bottom of the 7th as Alyssa Dixon will pinch hit for Macy Pampel. Pampel, a really rough day here in Game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader. Dixon inserted, pinch hits, and takes a strike. 0-1 from Caitlin Wells, who has a chance to reward herself. Wells has been excellent in relief today and now is in line for the win. Mrs. Loda, Dixon 1-1. Wells took over for Shannon Lacey, who lasted just 1 inning for Arkansas Tech. Wells entered trailing 4-0, but she's thrown 5 scoreless innings, and Arkansas Tech's offense finally woke up. In the top of the 7th, they scored 6, obviously helped along by Henderson State's poor defense. Reddies committed 3 errors in the inning, 5 errors for the day as Wells gets another strike on Dixon. The 1-2 is pulled foul down the third base line. We'll do the 1-2 once more. Dixon batting for the first time today, pinch hitting for Pampel. Dixon got the start in Game 1 yesterday, went 1 for 2 with a run scored, did not play in Game 2. 1-2. That's inside, skips off the turf to the left of home plate. Alyssa Dixon leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Reddies. Henderson State, 3 outs left, 2 runs to get. Down 6-4, 2-2. Lazy looper dies in front of the left fielder, Timber. Timber has trouble with it in left field, and she commits the error as Dixon goes to second base. Timber bobbled it as Dixon took a wide turnaround first and goes to second on the error by Timber. So that's a base hit and an error as Arkansas Tech looks as if they will be going with a new pitcher. This is Maddie Pro, who got results in both games yesterday. Pro got the win in game 1, went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, no runs, no walks, struck out 4, and she got the save in game 2. It was a bit of a troublesome save for Pro. 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. That was her 4th save of the season. And Pro will enter here in the bottom of the 7th, and this is a save opportunity for Pro. Enters with a 2-run lead with a runner on second. In the bottom of the 7th, the tying run will bat for the Reddies. This will be Caitlin O'Quinn as the Reddies order resets. O'Quinn looking for her first hit today. She has reached safely twice. Walked and scored in the first, grounded out in the second, walked in the fourth. O'Quinn has walked 6 times this weekend. She had walked 6 times in the first 30 games of the season. If O'Quinn walks again, she takes over the team lead in free passes drawn. So O'Quinn has really done a great job at the plate in terms of her eye discipline. Trying to get on board here. First pitch from Pro is taken for a ball outside, 1-0 to O'Quinn. So Henderson State presses the right buttons with a pinch hitter. Dixon singles and advances to second on the error by Timber. As O'Quinn takes a fastball, outer half strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Dixon on second. O'Quinn squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, swings at the 1-1, sends it into foul territory, but the catch is made by the left fielder Timber. Nice play by Timber to make up for her previous mistake. And O'Quinn retired in foul territory. She moves 0 for 2 as Zoe White digs in 0 for 3. White homered yesterday. It was a solo shot in the 3rd inning of game 2. It was the 2nd solo home run of the inning for the Reddies. The Reddies at the time had made it 4-2 before falling 7-5. White takes outside 1-0. Reddies down 6-4, bottom of the 7th, 1 out. Dixon on second. White pokes it into shallow right. This is going to drop. Dixon will move to third. Could not go on contact with just 1 out and had to wait for that ball to drop and find some turf in the outfield. But White gets a big base hit off the end of the bat. It flutters and falls into shallow right center field, and now the tying run is on the board for the Reddies on the base pads as it's Zoe White who represents the tying run at first. And Abby Moore bats. She is the go-ahead run. Dixon on third, White on first. First pitch to Moore, popped up, and this will get out of play. The catcher Fulgham behind the plate to take a look, but never had a chance. Abby Moore entered the ball game as Henderson State's RBI leader with 15 on the season. 0-1 to Moore. 1-1. Pro misses high and outside. Moore 0 for 2. Struck out looking but reached as it was a wild pitch in the first. Hit by a pitch in the third, grounded out in the fifth as she tags the 1-2. Hooks it foul, out of play. Runners on the corners, Dixon on third. White on first. Reddies trail 6-4, bottom of the seventh. Moore reaches out and has a single. This scores Dixon from third. White moves to second, slides in safely, and this is a one-run ball game. Henderson State trying to put together a comeback of their own. Arkansas Tech trailed 4-0 going to the seventh. The Golden Suns got 6 runs. They led 6-4 as we went to the bottom of inning number 7, but the Reddies have come back. A pinch hit single from Alyssa Dixon. She moved to second on the error by the left fielder Timber. O'Quinn fouled out to left. White singled to center, advanced Dixon to third. With runners on the corners, Moore singled up the middle, brought home Dixon from third, which was Moore's 16th RBI of the season, and advanced White to second. And the Reddies will have a pinch runner as Bree Jones, number 17, takes over for Abby Moore at first base. Zoe White, still the game-tying run in scoring position at second. Jones, the pinch runner on first, is the winning run as Monreal bats with 1 out in the bottom of the seventh. Monreal, first pitch swinging, pops it up behind second base. Pruitt, the shortstop, calls for it and makes the play on the first base side behind the second base bag. And the Reddies are down to their final out. But the Reddies like who they are sending to the plate in this situation. It is their hottest hitter, Addie Jordan. 16 for 34 in her last 13 games. She's 1 for 3 today. 2 on, 2 out for Jordan. Jordan swings at the first pitch. This will be sent out of play. 0-1 to Jordan. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the seventh. Jordan can win it with 1 swing of the bat. White, the tying run on second. Jones, the pinch runner, the winning run on first. 0-1 to Jordan. Again cut on. Again fouled back. Again out of play. The Reddies down now to their final strike as well as their final out. Pro, the pitcher, way ahead. 0-2 on Jordan. Jordan trying to protect home plate. Here comes the 0-2. And we'll do it again. Pro changes the eye level. Tries to get Jordan to swing through on some high heat. Jordan spoils it foul. Still 0-2. Pro back onto the rubber. 2 on, 2 out for the Reddies. 6-5 ball game, bottom of the seventh. 0-2. Runs inside. The catcher Fulgham thought that was the ball game. She sprinted out of the batter's box. Thought that was strike 3 called, but the fastball runs inside on Jordan. The count goes to 1-2. Jordan 1 for 3, singled in the third. Reddies runners will be going on contact. 1-2. Hit hard, high and deep, but it will hook foul. Off the bat, everybody was out of their seats. They thought Addie Jordan had a game-winning 3-run home run, but it hooks foul down the left field line. And the count remains the same, still 1-2. Jordan, the freshman, battling. Pro to the plate. Line drive. White coming home, and she scores. Henderson State has tied it at 7. 6-6. Reddies tie it in the bottom of the seventh. 6-6 ball game as Jordan lines it over the head of the shortstop Pruitt. And what a wild and wacky ball game we have had at D. White Field in Game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader. The Reddies allowed 6 runs in the top of the seventh. They come back with 2 of their own in the bottom half. What a comeback by the Reddies after a demoralizing top of the 7th inning. Henderson State refused to roll over. Jordan with a line drive single over the head of the shortstop Pruitt. Kaylee Reese digs in, strike called. Pro blows the save opportunity. And now with no decision for Wells, who had previously been in line for the win. Kaylee Reese bats 0-1 count, 2 on. Jones at second. Jordan on first. Reese takes a ball, 1-1 now the count. Reese, a 2-run triple in the first. That triple gave her the program record for career triples with 9 triples in Reese's career. Takes a strike at the knees, 1-2. Reese can win the game with 1 swing of the bat. Jones from second will be going on contact. One-two from Pro. Runs in and hits Reese in the forearm. Reese goes to first. Everybody advances. Jones to third. Jordan to second. And Ashlyn Taylor now with a chance to win it for the Reddies in the bottom of the 7th. 6-6 ball game. Arkansas Tech 6 runs in the top of the 7th. Reddies have tied it with 2 runs in the bottom half. Taylor swings and misses. 0-1 on the aggressive sophomore right fielder, Ashlyn Taylor, the local product out of Arkadelphia, 1 for 3, an RBI double in the first. 0-1 to Taylor. Pro misses outside, 1-1. Arkansas Tech with 6 runs, 5 on 5 hits and 3 errors in the top of the inning. Reddies 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 Arkansas Tech error in the bottom half. 1-1 to Taylor. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Pro. And the Reddies down to their final strike in the bottom of the 7th. Taylor can win it with a hit. Bases loaded, 1-2. And this is fouled off Taylor in the batter's box. Fortunate that Taylor did not get out of the batter's box before that ball hit her, or she would have been ruled out. Instead, we'll do another 1-2. Another chance for Taylor to win it. Swing and a miss. Pro strikes out Taylor, and we'll go to extra innings. 8 runs in the 7th, 6 by Arkansas Tech. The Reddies tie it with 2 in the bottom half. We'll go to the 8th, 6-6 on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. We'll go to the 8th inning. Extras here between the Reddies and the Golden Suns. It's been a wild and wacky ball game. Henderson State got a quartet of runs in the bottom of the first. Mallory Brewer was throwing a gem, but her defense let her down on the top of the 7th. 3 errors by the Reddies fielders in the top of the 7th led to 6 Arkansas Tech runs. Henderson State came back with 2 of their own to tie it in the bottom half, and we go to the 8th inning, and extras tied 6-6. Henderson State goes back to their bullpen. This will be the 3rd pitcher for HSU. Brewer started, went 6 2/3, allowed 5 hits. Brewer allowed 6 runs. Not a single one of them was earned. 1 walk, 5 Ks for Brewer. Lindsay got 1 out in the top of the 7th to end the inning. But Leanne Beasley has entered and will start the top of the 8th inning as Arkansas Tech leads it off with Morgan Fulgham. 1 defensive change of note for the Reddies. Alyssa Dixon is at second base as the 1-2 is flied off the bat of Fulgham out to center field. O'Quinn barely has to move, and she gathers in the first out of the 8th inning. So Dixon kept in the field after her pinch hit single to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Dixon scored 1 of Henderson State's 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, and Dixon will stay at second, replacing Macy Pampel, who had trouble with the glove in the field today. Beasley back-to-back strikes in the outer half to Arissa Harris. Harris RBI single in the 7th. 1 for 3 today. Stays alive. Fouls it back. Another 0-2. Harris hitting 9th. Playing right for Arkansas Tech today. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Harris reaches out, waves at the fastball, and comes up empty. Harris down on strikes for the 2nd time today, and Leanne Beasley looks awfully sharp on the rubber for the Reddies, inducing a pop-up to center and a strikeout by Harris. Quickly onto the rubber and to the plate. She gets a strike called on Timber Riley, who waits and watches it go by in the top of the zone. 0-1 now. 0-2. Riley fouls it into the netting behind home plate. Riley reached on an error by Macy Pampel, who was at second base at the time in the 7th inning. Later scored. Riley 0 for 4, leading off for the Golden Suns. 0-2 now. Hit hard and through the left side of the infield. The diving shortstop Zoe White could not knock it down, and Riley is 1 for 5, salvaging her day at the plate. Arkansas Tech has their 7th hit. And a base runner here in the top of the 8th as Riley reaches and becomes the go-ahead run. Beasley misses outside, 1-0 to Kane. Kane, like Riley, started 0 for 3 and also reached on an error and scored on the top of the 7th. 1-0. Make it 2-0. Kane ground outs in the 1st, the 3rd, and the 6th. Grounded to the first baseman Reeve in the 7th. Reeve could not make a backhand play as Kane beat it out. 3-0 now from Beasley as she misses again. Strike called, 3-1. Arkansas Tech at 11-7 in the GAC. Excuse me, 13-7 in the GAC. Came into the weekend 11-7. The Golden Suns winners of 8 in a row, trying to win this one in extras. We're in the top of the 8th. Full count. Riley takes off. Slow roller to the left side. White makes the play in the hole, and they say Morgan Reeves' foot was pulled off the bag. And this will be ruled a hit for Abby Kane. I'm not sure if Reeve needed to reach that far off the bag. It was a strong throw from the shortstop, White, and after 2 quick outs, Arkansas Tech has runners on first and second in the top of the 8th. Riley with a single to the left side. Kane singles to the shortstop as Laredo digs in. 0 for 3. That's kept in front by the catcher, Jordan. 1-1. Laredo walked in the first, was stranded at third. And she takes a strike at the knees. 1-2. Flew out to right in the third. Reached on an error in the 6th. Lined out to right in the 7th. 1-2. And that runs inside and hits Laredo. So Beasley retires Fulgham and Harris to start the inning. Riley singles. Kane singles. Laredo is hit. And Wells, Arkansas Tech's cleanup hitter and most dangerous hitter on the season and today, will dig in with a chance to give Arkansas Tech the lead. The bases are loaded, top of the 8th, 6-6 ball game. Wells takes a high strike. Wells came into the game leading Arkansas Tech in average, batting .383. That average has gone up today as Wells is 2 for 4. Singles in the 1st and the 7th. 0-1 from Beasley. That is above the belt, 1-1. Wells leads Arkansas Tech this year with 33 hits, 9 doubles, 21 ribbies. 1-1. 1-2. Beasley gets the inside strike, trying to strand the bases loaded in the top of the 8th, trying to keep it tied at 6, trying to give the Reddies a chance to win it with 1 run in the bottom of the 8th. 1-2. Breaking ball, and Wells leaves it low as it skips across home plate. Count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners will be going on contact with 2 outs. This is high. Skips away from Jordan, but not far enough that Riley could have come home from third as Beasley missed high on the 2-2. Big pitch here. Full count, 3-2, bases loaded, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Leanne Beasley, the freshman, steps up huge for HSU and gets the swinging strikeout with the bases loaded. The Reddies can win it when we come back. 6-6 will go to the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Ready Softball on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. Extra innings here. Beautiful day for some softball in Arkadelphia. A little taste of summer in mid-April. We're going to play 2 today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Henderson State looked like they were poised to take game 1 without a problem. Reddies led 1-0, or led 4-0 heading to the final inning. Henderson stayed up 4-0 going to the 7th. Arkansas Tech got 6 in the top of the inning. The Reddies responded with 2 in the bottom half. Arkansas Tech stranded the bases loaded in the top of the 8th, so the Reddies can win it with 1 swing of the bat in the bottom of inning number 8, as the Reddies will turn to Madison Harris. Harris making her 10th appearance in a game this season. Does not have a hit for the Reddies in 8 at-bats, mostly used as a pinch hitter. She pinch hits in the place of Henderson State's starting first baseman Morgan Reeve, as Harris takes a ball from Arkansas Tech's new pitcher Lexi Taylor. 1-0. Swung on, slow roller to short. Pruitt charges and throws Harris out, 6-3. So Harris unable to get the job done in the pinch hit opportunity. One quick out in the bottom of the 8th here in a 6-6 ball game. Alyssa Dixon got the job done and then some in the bottom of the 7th as a pinch hitter. Single to left, advanced to second on the error by the left fielder Timber, and later scored. Dixon's run made it 6-5. The Reddies later made it 6-6 and tied the ball game in the bottom of the 7th. We're in the bottom of the 8th, and it's still tied 6-6. Dixon takes back-to-back balls, 2-0. Arkansas Tech turning to Lexi Taylor in the bottom of the 8th. Dixon sends one to right field. Diving attempt made by Harris. Can't make the play, and Alyssa Dixon is 2 for 2. And I'd be shocked if Dixon's not starting game 2 today, as she's taken over at second base for Macy Pampel, who struggled today. Dixon, a pinch hit single in the bottom of the 7th, and a single to right in the bottom of the 8th. Dixon, the game-winning run on first base as O'Quinn pulls the bunt attempt back and takes ball 1-1-0. Lacey started for Arkansas Tech, lasted 1 inning, gave up 4 earned runs. Then Wells went 5 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Pro came in for the save, allowed a run, and blew the save as O'Quinn fouls it into the dirt in front of home plate, 1-1. And now Taylor pitches. So Henderson State has done a great job today with the bat in hand. It's just the Reddies defense that have let HSU down today. Reddies with 5 errors, 3 of them in the top of the 7th inning, in which Arkansas Tech scored 6 runs. 2-1 now to O'Quinn. O'Quinn 0 for 2 today, walked in the 1st and the 4th. Grounded back to the pitcher, Taylor, who makes the leaping grab and throws out O'Quinn at first. Had no chance to get the lead runner Dixon, who goes to second, as the Reddies put the game-winning run into scoring position. Zoe White started 0 for 3, but singled and scored the tying run in the bottom of the 7th. Has a chance to win it for the Reddies. High and outside from Taylor, 1-0. Foul ball down the third baseline, 1-1. 6-6 ball game, bottom of the 8th. We're in extras here at D. White Field. Alyssa Dixon at second after her single to right. She was advanced to second base after O'Quinn grounded into a fielder's choice, 1-3. White looking to bring Dixon home from second and win it for the Reddies, 1-1. Swing and a miss. White swings at what would have been ball 2, low and outside. White's single in the 7th put runners on the corners for the Reddies. Dixon was on third, White was on first. Both runners came home to score. Reddies tied it at 6. In the 7th, now here in the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 6 as White spoils the 1-2 into the netting behind home plate. Dixon runs well. She's at second base. She'll be going on contact with 2 outs. Another 1-2. This tails foul down the right field line into the Arkansas Tech bullpen. If Henderson State can drive home Dixon from second, the win would go to Leanne Beasley. The loss would go to Lexi Taylor, who pitches currently for the Golden Suns. Another 1-2 to White. That skips in front of the plate and gets away from the catcher Fulgham. This will be a wild pitch. Fulgham had to slide to her right. But that was short-hopped in front of the plate by about 5 or 6 feet. And now a little extra pressure on the pitcher Taylor. Another one gets away from Fulgham like that, and Dixon will come home and try to score from third. Swung on, rolled to third base. Laredo, a strong throw across the diamond. Another poised play for Laredo. She retires White 5-3, and Henderson State strains the game-winning run at third. We'll go to the ninth. 6-6. Reddies and the Golden Suns. You're listening to Henderson State Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. We're going to the ninth. Extra innings, free softball here at Henderson State. Leanne Beasley stays in the circle for the Reddies. Beasley in her second inning of work starts Arkansas Tech's leadoff batter Brooke Pruitt with a strike in the top of the ninth. Pruitt loops it to short and beats it out. This gets by the first baseman Monreal. That'll be a hit for Pruitt. Pruitt was jammed and just kind of looped it over the head of Beasley in the pitcher circle as Arkansas Tech stops the game right before Mackenzie Addis took the first pitch of her at bat, and Addis, it seems like she might be replaced now, or I'm not sure what the decision is going to be for Arkansas Tech. For a split second, somebody sprinted out to first base to pinch run, but now it'll be a pinch hitter. This will be Mackenzie Harris, the sister of the starting right fielder Arissa Harris. It looked as if Harris was going to go out and pinch run, but instead puts on the batting gloves and will pinch hit. Would not be surprised to see her square and bunt. She squares, she bunts. The first baseman Beasley, the pitcher Beasley, goes to first base and throws to the covering second baseman Dixon. So Harris, the pinch hitter, does her job, lays down the sacrifice bunt, and Arkansas Tech moves the go-ahead run into scoring position, represented by Pruitt, who singled to the shortstop to lead off the top of the ninth. Now it is Goins. She takes ball one. 1-0 count, 1 out, 1 on. Pruitt on second. 6-6 ball game, top of the ninth. Swing and a miss. Hefty hack from Goins, who is 1 for 4 today for Arkansas Tech. Singled to the left side and scored in the seventh. 1-1. 1-2. Goins fouls it back. Arkansas Tech got all 6 of their runs in the top of the 7th. They trailed 4-0 heading into the final frame. The Reddies could not shut the door, and we are in extra innings now here in the top of the 9th. 1-2. Breaking ball stays upstairs. Goins leaves it in the attic. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Each team with 6 runs on 9 hits. 2-2. Slow roller to third base. Moore checks on Pruitt at second, but Pruitt comes to third after Moore's throw anyway. Good base running by Pruitt. Moore gets Goins by a step 5-3, but Arkansas Tech moves the go-ahead run to third as Beasley and the catcher Jordan will have to make sure nothing gets away at home plate, or else Pruitt's going to have a chance to score. Beasley misses low with the fastball. 1-0 to Fulgham. Fulgham 0 for 4. Scored a run after reaching on a fielder's choice in the 7th. And Arkansas Tech has the lead. Fulgham with a clutch hit. A line drive single drops in shallow center. Pruitt jogs home, and the Golden Suns lead 7-6 in the top of the 9th. Fulgham had what turned out to be the game-winning hit in Game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader. Fulgham's 3-run home run made it 7-0 Arkansas Tech. Arkansas Tech won the game 8-6. And Fulgham right now has her second game-winning hit of the weekend as Arkansas Tech throws another pinch runner on the base paths. This is Abigail Lacala as Arissa Harris digs in. 1 for 4. RBI single in the 7th. Harris has struck out twice, takes a ball outside. 1-0. Beasley allowing the run, now in line for the loss unless the Reddies can come back with a run in the bottom of the 9th. 1-0, make it 2-0. Fastball dips outside and low. Mallory Brewer got the start for the Reddies, was sensational, but was let down by her defense in the top of the 7th. 3-0. Brewer allowed 6 runs in the inning. Not a single one was earned. Beasley has missed on 3 straight. Here comes the 3-0. That misses high as Harris takes a tumble, but gets back up and scurries to first base. Beasley issues her first walk of the outing, and Arkansas Tech has 2 on with 2 out in the top of the 9th. And they're looking for insurance runs now, already up 7-6, having taken the lead on Fulgham's single to center, which scored Pruitt. And now it'll be Timber Riley, 1 for 5, trying to join Caitlin Wells and Brooke Pruitt with multi-hit games. Wells and Pruitt both 2 for 5. Riley digs in 1 for 5. First pitch to Riley, called strike 1. High and outside, 1-1. So Pruitt led off the top of the 9th with a single to the shortstop, Zoe White. It was a little flare over the head of the pitcher Beasley, and not hit very hard at all, but just in the right spot where no Henderson State fielder could make a play on it. As Riley fouls off the 1-1, now 1-2 as it goes out of play. Riley stays alive, waits on the 1-2 breaking ball, and spoils it into the netting in front of the Arkansas Tech dugout down the first base line. 2 on, 2 out, Arkansas Tech bats in the top of the 9th, already up 7-6. Riley scorches this one to left center field. It bounces away from O'Quinn in center. 2 runs will score. Lacala scores from second. Harris scores from first. Riley has a 2-run double in the top of the 9th, and Arkansas Tech has broken it open. They lead 9-6 here in extra innings. Henderson State may be going to another pitcher as Beasley exits and makes way for Savannah Kerrigan. Arkansas Tech up 9-6. We'll take a break on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Savannah Kerrigan takes over for Leanne Beasley in the top of the 9th, and she's ready to work. She fires a strike to Abby Kane, who's 1 for 5. Single to the shortstop, White in the 8th. 0-1. And a line out. This was caught by White, who ranged to her right, deep in the hole between third and short. Henderson State out of the inning, but not before Arkansas Tech scores 3 runs on 3 hits. Fulgham breaks the tie with a single to center, scoring Pruitt. Riley gives Arkansas Tech breathing room with a 2-run double to left center field, scoring Harris and Lacala. Henderson State has 3 outs to work with in the bottom of the 9th. They're down 9-6. You're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. It's been a topsy-turvy game here in Arkadelphia. Final game of the games that count in conference play. We're going to play one more after this, but the 4th game of the weekend will not count for the GAC standings as the Reddies bat with Abby Moore in the bottom of the 9th. Reddies trailed 9-6. Henderson State led the ball game 4-0. Scored 4 in the bottom of the 1st. Led 4-0 heading to the 7th. Arkansas Tech got 6 in the top of the 7th. The Reddies trailed 6-4 going to the bottom half. They scored 2 to tie it at 6 and go to extra innings. Arkansas Tech got 3 in the top of the 9th, and the Reddies will need 3 in the bottom half as Abby Moore hits a chopper over the head of the pitcher's circle. The second baseman, Kane, charges in and makes an off-balance throw to retire Moore 4-3. Really nice play by Abby Kane. Really, the difference in this ball game is right now the defense. Arkansas Tech has just made more defensive plays than Henderson State, and the Reddies' 5 errors, really one of the main ingredients for Henderson State's deficit right now as Monica Monreal takes a strike on the outer half, 0-1. Reddies trailing by 3 runs. They've got 2 outs left to work with. Bottom of the 9th, down 9-6. Bases empty as Monreal digs in. 1 for 4, single, an RBI, and a run scored in the 1st. Monreal again 1 for 4. Popped up to the shortstop. And her last trip to the dish in the 7th, 1-1. Another pop-up. Playable on the infield. The first baseman, Goins, calls off the pitcher, Lacey, and makes the catch just to the right of the pitcher's rubber. Monreal, back-to-back pop-outs, and the Reddies are down to their final out of the day as Addie Jordan, the Reddies' hottest hitter, digs in. Jordan, the only Reddies starter with a multi-hit game. Melissa Dixon did not start. She's got 2 hits. And Jordan's average just below the 300 threshold at 296 as she digs in and takes a ball. Jordan has really turned her season around. She was batting just 140 through the first 16 games of the season. A hit here puts her over 300. 1-0. 1-1. Inside strike. Jordan started the year 6 for 43. She is now 18 for her last 38. 1-1. That's low. 2-1. Jordan entered the game third on the Reddies in average at 296. Just behind Abby Moore, who entered the day batting 306. 2-1 to Jordan. Hit hard at the shortstop Pruitt. She gathers in a hip-high hop and throws out Jordan. Henderson State falls in game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader, 9-6. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. We're getting set for Game 2 of Sunday's doubleheader, Game 4 of the weekend. This game will not count in the GAC standings. This game is an extra game tacked on to the 3-game GAC series. This is a non-conference game between two conference opponents, so Henderson State ends the weekend series in GAC play after losing the first 3 to Arkansas Tech. Henderson State playing for a little pride now as we start in the top of the first. Becca Almond throws to Timber Riley. Arkansas Tech's lineup virtually identical here in Game 2 as it was in Game 1. Riley takes a strike on the inner half of the plate from Almond. 1-1 as Riley leads off the top of the first, swings over the top of a dipping 1-1 pitch. 1-2 now. 0-0. Nobody out. Base is empty. Riley leads off the top of the first for Arkansas Tech. 1-2. Spoiled foul. Riley a bit late to the party. Riley 2 for 4 in Game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader. 2 for 6 in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. 1-2. Riley turns and scorches this one foul. Pinballs off the Henderson State dugout down the third base line. Pinballs off the Henderson State bullpen down the left field line. Chipping away some paint. Riley digs back in, shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and sends it to deep left field. Reese, the left fielder for the Reddies, makes a running catch and stops her momentum just before running into the wall. Almond getting some help from her trusty left fielder, Kaylee Reese, who is starting her 170th game today for Henderson State. Reese, by far the most tenured Reddie, as Almond starts with a ball, lone outside to Abby Kane. Kane, left-handed hitter, digs back in. Corner infielders for the Reddies, playing in front of the base paths, in front of the bags. Another strike to Kane. 2-2 the count. Scoreboard out in right field a little bit late. That's left low. 3-2. Top of the first, 0-0. 1 out, nobody on. Kane trying to give Arkansas Tech their first base runner. Slap hits foul territory. Kaylee Reese makes a diving play, and home plate umpire says Reese trapped that ball. Arkansas Tech's obviously agrees with the call. Henderson State disagrees. It was out of my eye line. I could not see at all whether Reese caught that ball or not, as when she ran left, she ran behind the Henderson State dugout from my vantage point. So still 1 out. Kane rolls it down the third base line, again foul. Kane battling here with the bases empty. 1 out in the top of the first. Scoreboard is incorrect. This is chopped down the first base line. Monreal has trouble with it and can't tag Kane as she dropped it initially, and another error on Henderson State's infield. The Reddies committed 5 errors in Game 1 of today's doubleheader, 3 of them in the top of the 7th, which allowed Arkansas Tech to score 6 runs in the inning. Arkansas Tech won it in extras 9-6. As Almond has to deal with Kane, Arkansas Tech's first base runner, after the error by the first baseman Monreal. First pitch to Patty Laredo misses 1-0. 1-0 swung on. Chopped foul down the third base line as Kane at first took off to go to second. Arkansas Tech doesn't steal many bases. Riley Timber and Brooke Pruitt tied for the team lead. 2 stolen bases apiece on the season for Arkansas Tech, so they are not running a whole lot. 2-1 now. 2-2 as Laredo fouls it off. One on, one out. Top of the first. 0-0 ball game. Almond working in the circle for the Reddies. Opposite way and out of play off the bat of Laredo. Laredo a combined 5 for 9 with 3 runs and a double in yesterday's doubleheader. Laredo went 0 for 3, walked, and was hit by a pitch in Game 1 today. This is Game 4 of the weekend. Laredo sends it to shallow right center field. Coming on to make the play is the center fielder Caitlin O'Quinn. Almond wins the battle with Laredo and has the second out of the top of the first in her back pocket. Caitlin Wells digs in. She had an excellent Game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader. Wells was good with the bat and in the pitcher circle. Wells went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Also threw 5 innings for Arkansas Tech. Gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. High and outside from Almond on the 0-1. Now 1-1. Almond waits on the right-handed hitter. Wells smacks it to deep center field off the wall, rounding third and heading home to score is Abby Kane. So the error costs the Reddies. Kane reached on the error by the first baseman Monreal. Arkansas Tech takes the lead in the top of the first on the 2-out RBI double from Caitlin Wells. That'll go down as an unearned run, as the run-scoring second baseman Kane would have never been on base if not for the error. So Wells still gets the credit for the RBI as Pruitt swings through the 1-0, now 1-1. Almond back on the rubber, ready to deal. Two-1 now. Pruitt batting fifth, splitting the Arkansas Tech order. Wells on second, 2 outs. That's high, helmet high. 3-1 now. 1-0 Arkansas Tech leads, top of the first after the RBI double by Wells off the center field wall. Scored Kane from first after reaching on the error. 3-1. That's above the zone. And a 5-pitch walk issued to Brooke Pruitt. Pruitt occupies a previously vacant first base. Pruitt 2 for 5 in Game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader. Has had a great weekend. Pruitt was 4 for 6 yesterday. Strike thrown by Almond. 0-1. Hit hard. Line drive, base hit. One hops Kaylee Reese in left field as Addis has another base knock. And the bases are loaded. Arkansas Tech trying to break it open in the top of the first. Mackenzie Goins digs in, swings through. A dipping off speed pitch, 0-1. Sent left side of the infield. Gathered up by the third baseman, Addie Jordan. She beats Pruitt to the third base bag for the force out. Arkansas Tech strands the bases loaded, but they get one. Henderson State trails 1-0. We'll go to the bottom of the first on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. Reddies down 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Caitlin O'Quinn digs in for Henderson State. (0-1) to O'Quinn after fouls off the first pitch here in the bottom of the first. O'Quinn leading off. Nobody out, nobody on. 0-1 from Shannon Lacey. That's upstairs. 1-1. O'Quinn leading the Reddies in average. Came into the weekend batting .373. Came into the Sunday doubleheader batting .377. And starts game 2 of Sunday batting .367. It's good for top 20 in the GAC in terms of average. 2-1. That's left low 3-1. O'Quinn is 2 for 7 combined over the weekend, but that on-base percentage up because of the 6 walks that she has drawn. 3-1. That's low and outside. O'Quinn draws another walk. O'Quinn entered the weekend 6 walks on the season. She's drawn 7 walks. More than half of her walks this season have come in this series against Arkansas Tech. That on-base percentage started the weekend at .407. It's now up over .435 as O'Quinn takes off down to second. The throw in time, and O'Quinn tagged out on the leg. That throw tailed to the first base side of second base, but Pruitt, the shortstop, made a great catch and a great tag. O'Quinn, a great thief on the base paths, gunned down, trying to steal second. O'Quinn entered the weekend with 21 steals and 23 attempts. Had a stolen base in game 1 to make it 22 steals and 24 attempts. But thrown out there as the base paths are emptied, as Zoe White lines one foul down the first base side. 0-2 to White. Lacey, Arkansas Tech's starter, started game 1 today, lasted just 1 inning, gave up 4 earned runs. 0-2 to White. Right back to Lacey, off the glove, into the path of the second baseman, Kane. She reacts quickly, picks it up, and throws White out. So White robbed of a base hit. Lacey, the pitcher, did enough to knock it down. Kane at second base. Quick eyes and quick hands. And White is retired for the second out of the bottom of the first. Reddies down 1-0 as Abby Moore digs in. Moore takes a fastball right down Broadway. 0-1. Moore, the 5'5" sophomore out of North Richland Hills, Texas, waits on the 0-1. Base is empty, 2 outs. In the bottom of the first, reaches out on the breaking ball and tags it foul. Lacey quickly ahead 0-2. Lacey looking to end the inning with the K. 0-2 to Moore. Popped up on the infield. Pruitt, the shortstop, calls off the third baseman, Laredo, and makes an easy play for out number 3. Arkansas Tech leads 1-0. We'll go to the second inning. You're listening to Ready Softball on the Henderson State Sports Network. welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State trails 1-0. We go to the top of the second. Henderson State has often found themselves behind in the first 3 innings. The Reddies have been outscored this season coming into Sunday's doubleheader. 111-44 in the first 3 innings of games this year, as Becca Almond induces the foul out off the bat of Morgan Fulgham on the first pitch of the top of the second. Arissa Harris now digs in and takes a ball. Fulgham fouls out to the third baseman, Addie Jordan, who caught game 1 of today's doubleheader. 2-0, Almond runs the fastball inside to the left-handed hitting right fielder, Harris. Harris 1 for 4, an RBI, 2 runs scored and a walk in game 1 of today's doubleheader. This game does not count in GAC standings. The first 3 games did. 3-0, 4-pitch walk to Harris. Arkansas Tech has another 1-out base runner in the top of the second. Arkansas Tech scored 1 on the top of the first. Abby Kane reached on an error and was brought home by a double off the wall from Caitlin Wells. It was an unearned run, but a run nonetheless. Arkansas Tech up 1-0. Count 1-0 to Timber Riley as the Arkansas Tech order resets. Almond misses on the first pitch to Riley and misses above the belt again. 2-0. So Almond 6 straight balls. 4-pitch walk to Harris, who stands on first. Now 2-0 to the right-handed hitting Riley. Riley again takes a ball above the belt. 3-0. Almond has worked 1 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. Has walked 2, has struck out none. 3-0. That's high. 8 straight balls from Almond. She has lost the zone. And Arkansas Tech threatening here in the top of the second with 1 out. Harris moves to scoring position. Riley takes first. And Abby Kane digs in. Kane scored the game's only run back in the top of the first, reached on an error by the first baseman Monreal. Kane takes a strike, 0-1. Almond finds the zone after 8 straight balls to Harris and Riley. Misses high, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-0 ball game, top of inning number 2. 4th game of the weekend, 2nd game of the Sunday doubleheader. 1-1 to Kane, swung on, spoiled out of play. 1-2. Winds gusting out to left field as they've done all day. 10-15 miles an hour, south-southeast. Temperatures up into the high 70s in the mid-afternoon as Kane goes up the middle and has a single for Arkansas Tech. Harris stopped at third. Riley goes to second. And the Golden Suns have loaded them up here in the top of the second for Patty Laredo. Laredo digs in 0 for 1. Flew out to the center fielder O'Quinn in the first. Bats with the bases loaded. And 1 out in the second. Takes a fastball above the belt, 1-0. Laredo was excellent in yesterday's doubleheader. Had 5 hits and 9 at-bats for Arkansas Tech. And that ran in and hit Laredo. She takes first painlessly. And Harris scores from third. Everybody moves up. Riley to third, Kane to second. Arkansas Tech doubles the lead. And Becca Almond's day is quickly done. Almond allowed an unearned run in the first. And she is chased in the top of the second after losing control. Got Fulgham to foul out on the first pitch of the inning. Then walked Harris on Riley on 8 straight pitches. Kane singles up the middle. Almond hits Laredo. Brings home Harris from third. The bases are juiced. And Almond is replaced by Savannah Kerrigan. We'll take a quick break on the Henderson State Sports Network. to D. White Field. The Reddies turn to Savannah Kerrigan, who gave the Reddies a yeoman's effort in Game 1 yesterday, replacing Mallory Brewer. In Game 2 of Sunday's doubleheader, she'll replace Becca Almond, who lasted just 1 1/3. And facing Arkansas Tech's most dangerous hitter, Caitlin Wells. Wells 1 for 1 so far. She's now a combined 6 for 15 at the plate this weekend. Sends the 1-0 foul down the right field line. Bases juiced for Arkansas Tech. Golden Suns lead 2-0 in the top of the second. Wells bats, Riley on third, Kane on second, Laredo on first. 1-1 from Kerrigan. Kerrigan gets the inside strike called on Wells. Wells in yesterday's doubleheader, a combined 3 for 9. It's on the 1-2, pulls it foul. Absolutely hammered, but foul all the way. Wells 2 for 5 in Game 1 today, a game in which Arkansas Tech trailed 4-0 going to the top of the 7th inning. Arkansas Tech won 9-6 in 9 innings, as Kerrigan does not get the call on the outside edge as she turned to the breaking ball. Wells kept the bat back, and the count moves to 2-2. Wells again sends it out of play, a little bit late to the party. Wells, by far Arkansas Tech's RBI leader, came into Sunday's doubleheader with 20 RBIs. 3 players behind her tied for 12. Popped up on the infield. Alyssa Dixon gathers under it, 10 feet to the right of second base, and Savannah Kerrigan gets a massive second out here in the top of the second, retiring Caitlin Wells, who entered the weekend as Arkansas Tech's most dangerous hitter. And now Kerrigan will try to get out of the inning and limit the damage. Arkansas Tech has already pushed across 1 so far in the top of the second, as Kerrigan misses low to Brooke Pruitt. Arkansas Tech 1 in the first, 1 in the second. They lead 2-0 as Pruitt pops it out of play, 1-1. Arkansas Tech got their run in the first off the bat of Caitlin Wells. Doubled home Abby Kane, who had reached on an error. That run was unearned. Arkansas Tech scored in the top of the second when Becca Almond hit Laredo with a pitch. Harris scored as the bases were loaded. Bases still loaded. 1-1, make it 1-2. Kerrigan nibbles the knees of Brooke Pruitt, Arkansas Tech's shortstop and 5-hole hitter. Pruitt walked in the first, trying to open this game up, and she takes high above the belt. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0 ball game. Arkansas Tech in front in the top of the second inning. Bases juiced. Pruitt trying to double the Arkansas Tech lead outside. 3-2 now. Runners will be taking off on the pitch as it's full, and there's 2 outs in the inning, so anything to the gap could clear the bases for Pruitt. 3-2. Swung on, hammered down the left field line, and fair. Riley scores from third, Kane scores from second. Laredo slides into third safely, coming around from first, and Pruitt does in fact double the Arkansas Tech lead. She's got a double. And the Golden Suns all over the Reddies, 4-0 in the top of the 7th. The threat continues as Mackenzie Addis digs in and takes high, 1-0. Those runs still charged to Becca Almond, as she was responsible for the base runners. 1-0. Kerrigan runs it in on Addis, and talk about having a painful day at the plate. That's the 3rd time throughout the Sunday doubleheader in which Addis has been hit by a pitch. She goes to a vacant first base, and Arkansas Tech has them loaded once more in the top of the second. Mackenzie Goins takes her turn to dig in. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Arkansas Tech with 3 runs in the inning already. They lead 4-0. Kerrigan misses high and outside to Goins, who grounded out in the first. 1-0. 2-0. That misses low at the ankles of Goins. Goins was retired as the third out in the top of the first. She hit with the bases loaded then as well. Takes a strike right down Broadway, 2-1. Goins grounded out to the third baseman Jordan, who stepped on third and got the force out. Bases loaded. Arkansas Tech up 4-0 in the top of the second. Goins swings through the 2-1. Hefty hack there, but whiffs. Golden Suns trying to break this game wide open. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Bases juiced. Goins calls for time. Initially doesn't get it, and then Kerrigan, the pitcher, does her a favor and steps off the rubber as Goins walks down the third baseline to have a discussion with Arkansas Tech's associate head coach Josh Bertkey. Not quite sure what they're talking about. Maybe just what to expect on this 2-2 from Kerrigan. Obviously, the plan at the plate is swing away, get the bat on the ball, and drive one to the outfield. Again, bases loaded. Top of the second, 4-0 ball game. Arkansas Tech in front. We'll do another 2-2 as Goins just missed and fouls it back into the netting behind home plate. Goins was spectacular in yesterday's doubleheader, combined 5 for 8 with 3 ribbies and 2 runs scored. 2-2, laced to the shortstop White. She throws to the covering second baseman Dixon, who beats Addis to the bag at second. Takes a spill after getting the force out. Side is retired, but not after 3 more Arkansas Tech runs. Golden Suns 4, Henderson State 0. We go to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. Bottom of the second. Reddies with work to do. Third time in 4 games this weekend, the Reddies have found themselves in a pretty deep hole. The Reddies trailed 7-0 in Game 1. They trailed 4-0 in Game 2. They actually led 4-0 in Game 3, but could not shut the door on Arkansas Tech, and they trail 4-0 as Monica Monreal fouls back the first pitch of the bottom of the second. Reddies set the minimum amount of batters to the dish in the bottom of the first, despite Caitlin O'Quinn reaching with a walk. O'Quinn was thrown out at second trying to steal a bag. White and Moore were retired, so Monreal digs in against Shannon Lacey, who is looking to put together her best start of the weekend. Henderson State's gotten to Lacey in both of her previous starts. Lacey lasted just 2 innings in Game 1 yesterday, lasted just 1 inning in Game 1 of today's doubleheader as Monreal shoots it to the second baseman Abby Kane. Kane crouches and throws out Monreal. Simple play for Abby Kane, and Monreal goes down by way of a 4-3 ground out. Addie Jordan, who has been Henderson State's best hitter this weekend, is set to dig in. Jordan playing third today and splitting the order, batting 5th. Jordan is 5 for 10. High in the air. Left field. Timber ranges closer to the left field line chalk and makes the play for out number 2. So Jordan now goes 5 for 11 across 4 games this weekend. Jordan started the second game of today's doubleheader batting .293. She started the weekend batting .264 as Jordan pops out to the left fielder Timber. Kaylee Reese digs in and takes the ball. Reddies trail 4-0, bottom of the second. Base is empty, 2 outs. Kaylee Reese checks the swing and dribbles a foul ball down the third baseline. Reese was responsible for, or had a part in, 3 of the Reddies' first 4 runs in Game 1 today. Had a 2-run triple and later scored in the Reddies' 4-run first inning. The Reddies could not hold on and lost 9-6 in extras. 1-1, now 1-2. Reese goes opposite field and it tails out of play. Reese's 2-run triple in the bottom of the first was her 9th of her career, the most ever by a Henderson State softball player, so congratulations to Kaylee Reese for etching her name at the top of the Reddies records books. 1-2, Reese reaches out, shallow center, and a diving backhanded play made by Arissa Harris. She robs Reese of a base knock. She gets a tip of the cap from the pitcher Shannon Lacey, and we'll go to the third. Arkansas Tech in control, 4-0 Golden Suns on the Henderson State Sports Network. Morgan Fulgham led off the top of the second. She digs in to lead off the top of the third. She fouled out to lead off the top of the second, but didn't stop Arkansas Tech from getting 3 runs in the second. Arkansas Tech looking for more as we start the top of the third. Fulgham checks the swings, takes the strike regardless as Savannah Kerrigan continues her work in the circle. Kerrigan took over for Becca Almond, who lasted just 4 outs. 1 1/3 inning. Almond gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, walked 3, didn't strike out any. Kerrigan allowed 1 hit with the bases loaded, but the runners were still the responsibility of Almond, so they were not charged to Kerrigan, who gets the strike called on the 1-1, now 1-2 on Fulgham. Fulgham 1 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. 1-2 from Kerrigan, breaking ball, dips outside, 2-2. Sent deep to left center field and gone. Morgan Fulgham, her second home run of the weekend, had a 3-run shot in Game 1. She uses the solo jack to make it 5-0 here in the top of the third. Arkansas Tech all over the Reddies, looking to take all 4 games of the weekend. Fulgham got all of that one, and she knew it. A slow trot around the bases for Fulgham. And Arkansas Tech has scored in every inning. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 so far in the third as Harris takes his fastball for a strike, 0-1. Kerrigan misses outside, 1-1. Harris walked and scored in the second. Talk about Fulgham having a great series. Fulgham's 3-run homer made it 7-6 in Game 1 today. In Game 1 yesterday, the Reddies lost that game 8-6, so it was the game-winning hit. Fulgham had the game-winning hit in the previous game today. She brought home Brooke Pruitt with a single to center field that made it 7-6 in the 9th inning. Arkansas Tech wound up winning 9-6. So Fulgham, got to imagine she's a candidate for GAC Player of the Week. 2 game-winning hits, couple home runs. She has been great for Arkansas Tech. As this is an opposite field base hit for Harris. Jordan, the third baseman, dives to her right, but can't knock it down as it scoots over the third base bag and stays fair. Harris is 1 for 1 and has reached safely twice. 1 on, nobody out for Arkansas Tech. Solo home run and a single in the inning for the Golden Suns as Timber Riley bats for the 3rd time and looks to keep the line moving. Riley flew out to left to lead off the top of the 1st, walked and scored in bats here in the top of the 3rd, and takes a fastball below the knees, 1-1 from Kerrigan. Catches the inside part of the plate, 1-2. Henderson State trying to salvage the weekend. Arkansas Tech won the first 3 games. This is game 4 of the weekend. This does not count as a conference game, though, as Riley sends it off the end of the bat. Foul down the right field line into the Arkansas Tech bullpen, which is vacant. Harris on first. Arkansas Tech already with a run in the top of the 3rd as Morgan Fulgham went deep over the left center field wall. 1-2 to Riley. That misses outside. 2-2 now the count. Arkansas Tech has put together 13 at-bats as a team. They've got 6 hits. They've also walked 3 times, so as a team, more than half of Arkansas Tech's hitters have reached base. They've come up to the plate or logged 16 plate appearances and reached safely 9 times. 3-2 now. Riley fouls it back. We'll do it again. Henderson State, on the other hand, still looking for their first hit when we see the Reddies bat in the bottom of the 3rd. Reddies will have at least a 5-run deficit to make up. Arkansas Tech up 5-0 in the top of the 3rd. Riley sends it to right center field. Ashlyn Taylor gloves it for the first out of the top of the 3rd. So after a long battle between Kerrigan and Riley, the freshman pitcher Kerrigan wins and retires Riley with a fly out to right. 1-on-1 out for Arkansas Tech as Kane grounds it back to the pitcher Kerrigan. Kerrigan elects to take the out at first. Didn't even look at Harris, who slides to second safely. Kerrigan could have had an opportunity to try and turn 2, but she takes the simple out at first as Harris moves to second. Now 2 outs in the top of the 3rd for Patty Laredo, who is 0 for 1 with an RBI. She was hit by a pitch in the 2nd when the bases were loaded and was credited with the ribby. Laredo, first pitch swinging, hit hard at Monreal. Monreal has trouble with it, and it's going to be Laredo who is safe at first. She beats Monreal to the bag, as that is yet another error on the Henderson State infield. 5 errors in game 1 today, 2 errors so far in game 2, both of them on Monica Monreal. Hit hard, but when you're at first base, all you got to do is knock it down and get to first quickly, and Monreal unable to do so. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Caitlin Wells. Wells popped out to the second baseman Dixon with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 2nd. Arkansas Tech looking to add to their 5-0 lead in the top of the 3rd. Harris on 3rd, Laredo on 1st after reaching on the error. High and outside, 1-1 to Wells. Wells entered Sunday leading Arkansas Tech in average, hits, doubles, RBI. She's been one of their most dangerous hitters, just a freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma. This is scorched, fair ball. Lands on the chalk down the left field line. Harris scores from 3rd. Laredo, an awkward slide into 3rd on the double from Wells. 2nd RBI double for Arkansas Tech's DH. And Savannah Kerrigan is looking like she's going to be replaced in the pitcher circle. Henderson State will turn to Crystal Lindsay. Arkansas Tech up 6-0 in the top of the third. The threat continues when we come back. You're listening to Ready Softball. Welcome back to D. White Field. Rough one so far for the Reddies in Game 2 of our Sunday doubleheader. Arkansas Tech leads 6-0, top of the third. Tech with 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 so far in the third, looking for more. Brooke Pruitt digs in, 1-for-1, walked in the first, 2-run double in the second. Pruitt, a chance to double her RBI total as she's got runners on second and third. Laredo on third, Wells on second. Pruitt takes a strike from Henderson State's new pitcher, Crystal Lindsay. Another base hit. This gets in front of Ashlyn Taylor, and Laredo scores from third. Pruitt has 3 RBIs. She's halfway to the cycle. A double in the second, a single in the third. Arkansas Tech up 7-0. Wells moves to third. Runners on the corners for the Golden Suns. Still 2 out, top of the third. Lindsay fires a strike to Mackenzie Addis. She's 1-for-1. Singled in the first, hit by a pitch in the second. We're in the top of the third inning. All but 3 of Arkansas Tech starters have a base hit. Addis flies it into foul territory. Monica Monreal, the first baseman, makes the play just behind the Arkansas Tech dugout down the first base line. Henderson State finally gets out of it, but not before 3 more runs from Arkansas Tech. The Golden Suns up 7-0. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State deep in the cellar. Reddies down 7-0. We start the bottom of the third. Reddies looking for their first hit. Caitlin O'Quinn worked a walk to lead off the bottom of the first for the Reddies. Henderson State hasn't had a base runner since then as Ashlyn Taylor digs in, swings the first pitch, and comes up empty. Taylor 1-for-4 with an RBI double in the first game of today's doubleheader. 0-1 to Taylor, low and inside, 1-1. Lacey, Arkansas Tech starter, has worked 2 innings, has not given up a hit, just 1 walk to O'Quinn. Taylor fouls it back into the netting behind home plate, 1-2. Taylor batting 7th, playing right today for the Reddies. Taylor, Sled, Dixon, 7, 8, 9 due up for HSU in the bottom of the third. 7-0 ball game. Arkansas Tech, the visitors, up in front. Another pitch spoiled by Taylor. The 1-2 fouled back and out of play. Taylor 3 for 10. Pair of RBI, pair of doubles this weekend. Has a hit in every game. 1-2, swing and a miss. Taylor swings over the top of a dipping fastball, and Taylor Sled will take her turn. Sled, the 5'6" freshman out of Benton, Arkansas, digs in, trying to give the Reddies their first hit of the game. Sled takes a fastball on the outside corner, strike one. 0-1 to Sled, one out, bases empty. Reddies trail 7-0, bottom of the third. Henderson State trying to salvage the weekend. Arkansas Tech won the first three, up 7-0 in game 4 as Lacey misses outside. Easy take for Sled. Lacey has now worked 2 1/3. This is her third start of the weekend, and this is her longest outing. Lasted 2 innings in game 1 yesterday, lasted 1 inning in the first half of today's doubleheader. 1-1 to Sled, swings and misses. 1-2. Sled 0 for 1 in game 1 of today's doubleheader, takes low. Ball 2, count evened up. Sled was a pinch hitter in game 1, gets the start here in game 2. 2-2 from Lacey, looking for her second strikeout. Sled stays alive, fouls it back and out of play. Sled 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the third inning of game 1 yesterday. 0 for 2 in game 2 of the series. 0 for 1 in game 3 of the series. So combined 1 for 6 as Sled goes down looking. Lacey gets the call on the inside corner with the fastball. Second strikeout today for the Reddies, and Lacey trying to get through the Henderson State order without allowing a hit as the 9-hitter Dixon takes her turn and takes a fastball for a strike at the belt. Dixon was fantastic in game 1 of today's doubleheader. She had a pinch hit single in the bottom of the 7th and singled again in the bottom of the 9th. Went 2 for 2 off the bench. Is 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored over the weekend, and she earned herself the start at second base in the weekend finale. 1-1 to Dixon. Off the end of the bat. Foul ball, 1-2. 7-0 Arkansas Tech leads. Bottom of the third. Arkansas Tech got 1 in the first. 2 straight innings with 3 runs. 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Henderson State still looking for their first hit. Lacey goes to Dixon. Slow roller down the third base line. Laredo charges and throws a fireball to get Dixon by a step. Laredo with the gold glove this weekend makes another great play on the swinging bunt from Dixon. Henderson State without a hit through their first 9 batters. Arkansas Tech 7, Henderson State 0. We'll go to the 4th. You're listening to Ready Softball. We go to the 4th here on the campus of Henderson State University. Reddies trail 7-0. Arkansas Tech has scored in every inning. 1 in the first, 2 in the, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Looking for more in the 4th as Mackenzie Goins digs in. 0 for 2. A couple of fielder's choice ground outs for Goins. Swings at the first pitch of the inning. Rolls it foul down the third base line. 0-1. Goins bats 7th. Fulgham bats 8th. Harris bats 9th. Those are the Golden Suns hitters due up in the top of the 4th. As Goins, the righty hitter, digs back in and takes a ball from Crystal Lindsay. Lindsay took over for Savannah Kerrigan, who took over for Becca Almond. It's been a rough ride for the Reddies. Down 7-0, top of the 4th. 1-1, scorched to left field. Reese makes the sliding catch and robs Goins of a base hit. Nice play by Reese. A trusty glove out in left field. And Lindsay, the pitcher, gets some help from her left fielder. Goins moves to 0 for 3 after getting robbed by Reese. This will bring up Morgan Fulgham, who has had just a great weekend for Arkansas Tech. Entered the weekend with 1 home run on the season. She's got 2 so far this weekend. A 3-run shot in game 1 of the weekend, a solo home run back in the 3rd inning in this one. Fulgham is a combined 6 for 15 now this weekend. A couple of home runs and a couple of game-winning hits. She's jammed there, swinging bunt down the first base line. Lindsay, the pitcher, gathers it to the left of the chalk down the first base line. Couldn't tag Fulgham, but throws her out. And Lindsay has 2 quick outs to start the top of the 4th. Henderson State trying to shut Arkansas Tech down in an inning for the first time today. Arkansas Tech got 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. They lead 7-0 as Arissa Harris takes a strike, 0-1. Harris, the lefty hitter, goes opposite field. It tails out of play. Harris was 0 for 5 in the doubleheader yesterday. 1 for 4 in game 1 earlier today, Sunday, and 1 for 1 with a walk and 2 runs scored so far. So she's been much better on Sunday than she was on Saturday. 0-2 to Harris. Strike 3 called. Lindsay gets the outside edge of the plate. Strike 3 looking, and the Reddies get out of the 4th with no problems. We'll go to the bottom half of the inning when we come back. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th inning. Defensive change for Arkansas Tech as Caitlin Wells goes to first base. Caitlin O'Quinn swings at the first pitch of the inning, loops it to left field. Timber came on and then backtracked the other way and made a backpedaling catch. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th as Lacey continues a sensational start. She misses high above the belt of Zoe White. White digs in 0-1, 0 for 1. 1-0 count to White. White late off the bat, foul down the right field line, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Reddies batting in the bottom of the 4th, down 7-0 to the visiting Arkansas Tech Golden Suns. Golden Suns have won 9 in a row now, looking to make it 10 straight. As White, again late, again fouls it out of play down the right field line. White almost had a base hit in the first. Sent it back to the pitcher. It was deflected off the glove of Shannon Lacey. Picked up by the second baseman Kane, who threw out White. 1-2. That is wasted by Lacey. Good block by the catcher Fulgham, who doesn't have to worry about base runners right now with the bases empty and 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. White, the freshman out of Plano, Texas, looking to give the Reddies their first hit. Again, pounds it back to the pitcher, Lacey. An errant throw, but it's caught by Wells at first base. It brought her off the bag, but she had plenty of time to step back on the base. And second time today, White has hit it hard back to the pitcher, but second time she has been retired. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Bases empty as Abby Moore digs in, takes a ball low and outside. 1-0. Henderson State still looking for their first hit in the bottom of the fourth. Arkansas Tech up 7-0. 1-0 to Moore. Moore tags it, sends it to left field. No problem for Timber. She arranges back 4 or 5 steps and gathers it in. Reddies go down in order. We'll go to the top of the fifth. Arkansas Tech up 7-0. You're listening to Ready Softball on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field, top of the fifth. Arkansas Tech up 7-0. Golden Suns looking to get back on track. Reddies retired ATU in order in the top of the fourth, as it won't be the same thing in the top of the fifth. First pitch hits Riley Timber. Timber will go to first for a leadoff base runner here in the top of the fifth for Arkansas Tech. Quick defensive note, Henderson State enters Madison Harris behind the plate. Harris takes over for Abby Moore, who started at catcher. Henderson State might be thinking down 7-0. Might take Moore out of the game and keep her legs fresh as we get into the home stretch of the season. Lindsay misses low. Now quickly 2-0 behind Abby Kane, who's 1 for 3. 2 runs scored for Arkansas Tech today. 2-0 from Lindsay. 3-0. Arkansas Tech trying to end it early. 7-0 in the top of the fifth. If Arkansas Tech scores a run in this inning, Henderson State will be forced to score in the bottom half, or it will be a run rule. 3-0. Kane pulls the bunt attempt back, but Lindsay pours in the strike. Count goes to 3-1. Swing and a miss. Kane swings through the 3-1, and the count now full. Could be an opportunity for a hit and run here. Riley runs well on first. Dribble down the third base line and foul. Kane stays alive. Lindsay has been good since taking over for Kerrigan. 1 1/3, 1 hit. No runs, 1 K. Has not walked anybody. 3-2 to Kane. Kane reaches out, pokes it left side. This is going to do the same job as a sacrifice bunt. Addie Jordan, the third baseman, scoops it up, fires to first to get Kane by a few steps. Riley moves to second into scoring position for Patty Laredo. So Laredo had a really great Saturday, but has been pretty quiet today on Sunday. Laredo 0 for 2 in this one. She was 0 for 3 in game 1 today, and that was after she was a combined 5 for 9 in yesterday's doubleheader. So Laredo looking for her first hit on Sunday afternoon. 0-1 to Laredo, and she's got it. That's through the right side. Being held at third is Riley. Laredo also stays at first. Runners on the corners now for Arkansas Tech for, once again, their most dangerous hitter, Caitlin Wells. Wells batting cleanup. She's been in the right spot in the order. She has batted with runners on base and every time up. Wells, RBI doubles in the first and the third. First pitch to Wells, swung on, sent to deep left center field, and this ball is out of here. Arkansas Tech putting the exclamation point on the weekend. The Golden Suns lead 10-0 in the top of the fifth. Wells goes yard. That is her 5th RBI of the game. Pair of RBI doubles in the first and the third. 3-run shot in the top of the fifth. Third time today, Arkansas Tech has scored 3 runs in an inning. That is Wells' 2nd home run of the season, and she continues to be the leading RBI getter for the Golden Suns, as Henderson State now is especially in run rule territory. The Reddies will need at least 3 runs in the bottom of the fifth to keep this game afloat, and that is if Crystal Lindsay can get out of the inning with no more damage done, as she's quickly ahead 0-2 on Brooke Pruitt, who's 2 for 2 with a double and a single and a pair of 3 RBIs today. Pruitt takes outside, 1-2 now. Pruitt 2-run double in the second, RBI single in the third. Also walked in the first. She's been excellent with the bat in her hand all weekend. 1-2 from Lindsay. High and outside, 2-2. Pruitt 4 for 6 yesterday, 2 for 3 in both sides of the doubleheader. 6 for 11 coming into this game. So a combined 8 for 13. 625 average over the weekend. This is sent to right field. Ashlyn Taylor waits to track the flight of the ball, moves forward, and makes the play for out number 2. Pruitt retired for the first time in the second half of our Sunday doubleheader. Arkansas Tech up 10-zip, top of the fifth, 2 outs, bases empty, as Mackenzie Addis chops one back to the pitcher Lindsay. Lindsay arranges to her right and throws Addis out by a step and a half. Reddies with work to do. We go to the bottom of the fifth, 10-0 Arkansas Tech. Henderson State needs 3 runs to keep this game going. Welcome back to D. White Field, and this could be last licks for the Reddies. Reddies trail 10-0. If 5 innings have been completed, and it's an 8-run game or more, it's a run rule. So the Reddies need 3 in the bottom of the fifth, and the Reddies need to get 3. They have not gotten a hit so far today, as Shannon Lacey is looking to slam the door on the Reddies, as Monica Monreal takes a ball inside. 1-0 to Monreal, grounded out to the second baseman Kane back in the second. 1-0 to Monreal. Make it 1-1. Monreal looks at a fastball strike, outer half. Monreal, the right-handed hitting first baseman, trying to get it going with the bat. She's had trouble with the glove today. 2 errors down at first base. Popped up and out of play on the 2-0 hitters count, 2-1. Arkansas Tech, 10 runs on 10 hits. Count actually should be 1-2. Scoreboard out in right field was incorrect. One-two to Monreal. Swinging bunt right back to the pitcher, Lacey. She has no problem after charging, fielding, and firing. Monreal retired 1-3, and the Reddies with 2 outs left. So Shannon Lacey trying to flip her script. Lacey lasted just 2 innings in game 1 of the 4-game series this weekend. Lasted just 1 inning in the first game of Sunday's doubleheader. She's gone 4 1/3, is not allowed a hit for Arkansas Tech as Addie Jordan digs in. 0 for 1, flew out to left field in the second. 1-0 to Jordan. Tattoos this ball, hooks it foul. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Arkansas Tech 2 outs away from sweeping the 4-game series and winning their 10th straight. 1-1 to Jordan. Jordan tried to hold up, but clearly went around. 1-2 now. Jordan 0 for 1 so far in this game. Combined 5 for 11 over the weekend now. Most hits by any Reddy across the Saturday-Sunday set. Jordan just stays alive. Nibbles apiece. Sends it near the Arkansas Tech dugout on the first base side. Count stays 1-2. Lacey has allowed just 1 base runner, allowed O'Quinn to walk to lead off the bottom of the first. She's retired every Reddy since then. 1-2. Jordan pops it up. Plenty of room on the right side of the infield for the first baseman Wells. She makes the catch halfway down the first baseline in fair territory. Jordan is retired, P3, and the Reddies are down to their final out as Lacey is 1 out away from a run-ruled, shortened game no-hitter. 4 2/3, no hits allowed by Lacey. First pitch to Kaylee Reese, taken ball 1, low and inside. Reese became Henderson State's all-time leader in triples earlier today with a 2-run triple in game 1 of today's doubleheader. 9 triples in Reese's career. 1-0 to Reese. 1-1. Reese tags it opposite field, out of play. Bases empty, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Reddies down 10-0. Reddies need 3 in the inning to keep this game alive, or else they will be run-ruled, and Arkansas Tech will take all 4 games of the weekend. 1-1 to Reese. Lined at the shortstop. Pruitt, she makes the catch, and Lacey completes the 5-inning no-hitter. Arkansas Tech wins 10-0.